Platte St. Catholic Schools YouTube page. We're getting ready to live stream the North Platte St. Pat's football game against Grand Island Central Catholic tonight. And we're about 41 minutes away from kickoff between the Irish and the Crusaders. And we're having the live stream on here, this page right here, so we'll leave it up right now live. I'm Tanner Struckman here, getting ready to bring you the radio call on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM, and also on the YouTube we'll have the same audio there as well. So welcome anybody that's watching and getting ready for Irish football tonight. Grand Island Central Catholic again in town. Irish 2-0, Crusaders 1-2. We'll start off our pregame at about 6:30 Central Time on KODY and also on our YouTube page. Again, welcome to the North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page. Just doing some audio testing to make sure our levels are about right as we get ready to bring you St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic here from a beautiful Knights of Columbus field, the home opener for the North Platte St. Pat's Irish hosting Grand Island Central Catholic. Riley, we're here. Good afternoon. Hey, good evening. Welcome into the broadcast.
Well, yeah, what a great evening. It's just really beautiful out.
Absolutely beautiful outside right now. 2-0 St. Pat's, 1-2 Grand Island Central Catholic. This is game number 3 for the Irish. Good to have a home opener, isn't it?
It is. This is getting pretty late in the year to not have had a home game, so it really is fun. And I think there's a little added energy around it, and hopefully the players are able to capitalize on that.
We're also streaming on the North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page, so you're making your analyst debut on YouTube.
Yeah, I should have combed my hair better, I guess.
We didn't do any stand-ups, some visual stand-ups for how many viewers we have? 9 viewers. We appreciate you guys tuning in here. Well, welcome into KODY as well, our voice of the Irish all season long. Just 3 home games, but hey, all day I kind of thought, waiting for a phone call here on. And even my daughter joked with me, Dad, I heard the game was canceled. And I said, don't joke about that. We won't have this game. So we're really excited to be playing. I think at this point we're safe to play, aren't we?
I think we're all here now. Whatever is going to get exchanged has probably already happened. We just won't play.
North Platte St. Pat's 2-0, coming off of a 48-14 win last Friday against the Centurions. It was a wild first half. 16 drives between the two teams in that first half, Bill. It was back and forth. Irish started with 3 straight 3-and-outs. They trailed 7-0, but then got an INT from Alex Davies. That kind of catapulted the offense then. He scored a play later, and then they got a safety. They scored on the next drive. They added another touchdown and field goal before half. 2 more in the second half. It was not a game that was polished by any means. You heard Coach Kevin Dodson talk about that offensively, but they got 48 points and got the victory. Short drives, not really any long established ones. The thing that stands out we asked him about were the penalties, without a doubt. 13 penalties for 95 yards. I had to restat, and I found one more in the restat after that, because we had 12 in the on-air broadcast, but most I've seen in my 9 years as the voice of the Irish, and frankly not even close. Most of them, though, fixable penalties, and that's a good thing.
Well, there were several in there that were alignment, and I'm not for sure if the guilty parties were always aware, even after the fact.
Right.
Sometimes you're in the neutral zone, and you get looking to your left and right and realize, boy, I'm out here too far. In the case of last Friday, I don't know that was really the situation. I think guys were a little bit unsure about exactly where it was, and we weren't able to identify a lot of those, but it was certainly even. There were a lot of penalties both ways, but it really kept the game from having a lot of flow, which makes it difficult.
13 penalties, 95 yards between the two teams, 25 of them. It was a 2-hour and 40-minute game. It just stretched out. You go back 9 years. I went into the data. 9 years of football games for St. Pat's I've been able to do. Irish are averaging about 5.6 penalties per game. The high before last Friday was 11 against Baird a few years ago, but they've only been over 10 3 times in 9 years. So that's pretty out of the norm, and I would expect it was a focus in practice this week, and it will be better tonight. Alex Davies certainly was the showcase of that Friday night game. Alex probably had, in my opinion, I think one of the most impressive games I've seen from an Irish individual player all around in 9 years.
Well, I think that's true, and I think you have to look at guys that are that involved in every phase of the game. We've had over the years guys that have had outstanding defensive games, or guys that have had an outstanding offensive game from a rushing standpoint, but to have somebody do all of those different things that Alex does and do them so well as he did on Friday is pretty amazing.
He had 7 carries, 68 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. He caught a pass. He had a defensive pick. Probably, I don't do tackle stats, but I'm guessing one of the top 2 tacklers. Oh, and he went 5 for 5 on PATs, and he had a 34-yard field goal as well. One of a complete game from Alex Davies. The Irish 2-0 for the first time since 2015. Their opponent, Grand Island Central Catholic, the Crusaders in town, who enter 1-2. They opened with 2 road trips against Sutton and Archbishop Bergen. Neither of those went their way, outscored 59-6. That's 2 top 10 teams for sure. But last week, got their first win. They beat Centennial 42-12. Had a 21-0 second quarter and outgained the Centennial Broncos 464-174 in that one, and got the victory and got on track. It's an offensive team. I mean, I think they're probably not happy with. I'm not sure they were anticipating upsetting games 1 and 2. I'm sure they wanted to. But I'm sure they're disappointed with 6 points in the first 2 games because this is an offense, Bill, that besides the offensive line returns a lot from last year, if not everything.
A very skilled group, good speed and good skill at all of those positions. And you know, you're getting a team that probably is feeling pretty good about things, knowing they played a couple of really tough opponents right out of the gate. Now got a win under their belt, and so I'm sure they're feeling pretty good about things.
They're led by some seniors, 9 of them, 7 starts. Starting quarterback's the big one, Russ Martinez, 5'11", 184-pounder. He's throwing over 50%, almost 500 yards in 3 games, 3 touchdowns, 4 INTs. But what I think he's most dangerous in this game is his running ability. He ran all over St. Pat's, 93 rushing yards last year on only 9 carries. He had a touchdown, and so he's a very mobile quarterback, very efficient back there. He'll throw a lot to Isaac Herbick, the junior wideout, might be one of the best wide receivers the Irish will see. Of course, a 99-yard touchdown against St. Pat's last year. But watch out for Braden Wenzel, a really good target. And Marcus Lowry, the junior wideout, has 14 grabs already this year. He's got a complete wide receiver core. And then he's got a good running back in Brayton Johnson, the 5'11 junior who started last year as a sophomore and had a good game against St. Pat's. So skill guys again. This team's got them. The question marks are on that offensive line. It's small, but it's a pretty good group. I think they're really fundamentally sound. I think it's a group that St. Pat's would love to have. I think it's kind of, you could compare maybe to some teams of St. Pat's offensive line over the past few years. Not big, but pretty darn good. We're going to pause. National anthem coming up. Kickoff between North Platte St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic from Knights of Columbus Field is on the way on KODY. And welcome back to Knights of Columbus Field, KODY 1240 AM, 106.1 FM. Tanner Struckman, thrilled to be with you. Bill O'Malley on the broadcast call, 6:57 Central Time. You're listening to the voice of the Irish, KODY North Platte with translator K291BW North Platte and 106.1 FM. Next time you're hungry, maybe after the game, head to Dave's Place in North Platte for the best homemade pizza and wings. Dine in, carry out, and online ordering available. It is Dave's Place in North Platte. We're all set up for Irish football. Grand Island Central Catholic in town. Bill O'Malley, I think this is going to be one of the one of the better games this season, I think, for the Irish. This is going to be a tough task, an offense that is pretty good, and when it comes down to the end of the year, I think this will be a team that we say, this one mattered, and this could be a big game for points.
Yeah, it is, and I think, along with that, along with being a good team, I think you also are going to be witness to probably one of the better players we'll see all year. I know in talking to 2 or 3 different ones of the coaches, the first comment they had was their quarterback's really good.
Right.
And so that kind of is across the board.
North Platte St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic will play. This will be their 3rd meeting, 3 straight years. Hadn't played before that. 2 years ago on this field, you may remember it. It's one that I'm glad we didn't live stream on YouTube because it wasn't when we want to go back and watch. Isaac Herbeck was the heartbreaker again. He's probably been a heartbreaker in both games. A game-winning touchdown pass pretty much at the end to win it for Grand Island Central Catholic. And then, of course, last year the Irish lost 28-7. I know the first game the Irish won back. Obviously, you lose on a game-winning touchdown. You feel like you probably should have won. But even last year, 3-touchdown deficit, but boy, it felt like that one's probably one the Irish should have been certainly closer.
Well, and the thing that was discouraging with that particular game is, in many ways, the Irish had kind of dominated the game in terms of time of possession and probably in terms of physicality, and yet they found themselves down, I think, 14-0, and then came back and answered with a drive, and it looked like, okay, now we got our confidence back and just could never really completely regain that.
North Platte St. Pat's can kick it off. Gold pants, gold helmets, green jerseys, gold numerals. Meanwhile, Grand Island Central Catholic in white, dark blue pants, dark helmets, and silver numerals. The Irish will kick it off right to left on your radio dials. We get this one underway here from Knights of Columbus Field. They hug the ball here. The Irish, of course, have onside this year, and the Crusaders are probably well aware of that right now. They've got about 5 or 6 guys tied at the line. Now they spread out, and they will as well. Back deep for the Crusaders to return this one, I believe, is going to be, numbers are hard to see, I'm not going to lie to you.
4, I believe.
Charles Armstrong and I think Gage Steinke or maybe Braden Wenzel. It's 21 or 22. I think it's Wenzel. Hassel tee it up. It'll angle far side towards Wenzel. He's back to his own 1-yard line. He'll back up into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback, the 3rd touchback of the year for Jack Hess. Nice kick there by Jack. Of course, nice angle as well. Grand Island Central Catholic will bring the offense out. Led by the senior quarterback, 5'11", 184-pounder, Russ Martinez. 34 of 66, 51% through the air, 490 yards. He has 3 scores, 4 INTs. He's rushed for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns. His back, Brayton Johnson, a 5'11", 164-pound senior, 136 rushing yards. Braden Wenzel, Marcus Lowry, Isaac Herbeck, your 3 main wideouts out there. They'll put 4 wide, trips to the near side, work left to right in your radio dial to get this game underway from their own 20-yard line. They'll run an option out of it. Trayton White takes the quarterback with the pitch out to the wing, slip tackle, and he'll tip forward to the 27-yard line. Able to break 1 or 2 was the pitchback, Brayton Johnson, and a good first down carry for the Crusaders gets them, I would say you're right at 6, maybe 7 yards on first down, little option play.
Trayton White did a really good job there of making Martinez give the ball up early, but they had the Irish kind of outnumbered there. They had a double team on the outside linebacker, Alex Davies, and they got him tied up and allowed for the gain there.
Defensive line, Trayton White out there for North Platte St. Pat's. On the D-line, we'll get that in a second. 2nd down and 4. This time a quarterback, no, he hands it off, and Brayton Johnson nowhere there. The Irish, Landon Nichols, gets in there to make the stop along with Alex Davies. It'll be 3rd down and 4. That D-line coming to play on that one. Brecken Erickson getting the start here for North Platte St. Pat's, and out there as well as Sawyer McGill. You have Justin Schroll, the right defensive end. Your linebacking core is as good as it is. Gavin Nutter, Alex Davies, Landon Nichols, Jackson Roberts, your 2 quarterbacks, Joseph Hyriggs and Will Motes, and your safety is Jack Cass. 3rd down and 4 coming up for GICC after no gain.
Yeah, there was a nice play by the defensive tackle, Brecken Erickson, really put some pressure on Martinez there.
A wing back left, 2 split to the far side, snap back to Martinez, quarterback left side. He's got a keeper, he'll push the pile, he'll get pushed back though, and he won't have it. He got 3, he needed 4, it'll be 4th down and 1. Leading the charge in there for the Irish defense is Alex Davies coming up with another hit. And a design quarterback keeper there for Russ Martinez ends up 1 yard shy. It'll be 4th down and 1 and a punt for the Grand Island Central Catholic Crusaders.
I think they might be shifting the outside linebackers around a little bit here for the Irish. It looked like they're trying to get Alex on the strong side of the field.
You're exactly right. Back deep. I saw that as well. Gavin Nutter, Will Moats for North Platte St. Pat's doing the punting duties for GICC. Is Russ Martinez your quarterback? 4th and 1 from his own 29. Now almost 2 minutes gone here in our opening quarter. Snap back. He has time. High but not deep kick. Not returnable. It'll bounce at the 49. Bounce into GICC territory to the 47. And that's where North Platte St. Pat's will take over. Clock at 9:51 to play in quarter number 1. A great start for the Irish defense, forcing a 3 and out and getting them really good field position at their own 47.
You're exactly right. Through 4 plays, it's gone about as well as you could hope. You get to the first down play that set them up in pretty good shape, and then the Irish come up with 2 big defensive plays and force a short punt.
Offensive team comes out here for North Platte St. Pat's. Tegan Sonneman, Landon Nichols, Sam Scholes, Trayton White, and is that Brecken Erickson on the right side? Left to right as you hear it. As the Irish work right to left as you hear it. Here comes a veer right. Quarterback keeper Jack Hess, so missed block. Boy, he gets thrown down right away. An excellent open field tackle on Hess. Nowhere to go for the quarterback on the veer. He just had to pretty much swallow that one as he met Reed Martinez, the senior defensive lineman with the stop, or linebacker, I should say. Loss of 2.
Yeah, it looked like we didn't get the play side tackle blocked at all.
Not at all. The tight ends for St. Pat's. Nate Moats on the left, Justin Schroll on the right. In the backfield, you have Alex Davies, Gavin Nutter, and Will Moats is your right wing back here on 2nd and 12. Ball back at the 45-yard line. 9:18 in the first quarter, opening drive. Split back. Here's a couple fakes. The rolling right, look at the throw. Will Moats is wide open. Jack Hess lays it out there. Moats has got it at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! And the first passing touchdown of the season comes on the second offensive play of the game for the Irish. Touchdown, 6-0.
What a big play there, and I think probably you caught the Crusaders a little bit off guard. I mean, they know that the Irish have a pretty good play-action pass game, but I don't suppose they expected to see it that early. Will Moats is able to just slip in behind the defense, and boy, Jack just laid out a very catchable ball there, and Will ran under it, and then, of course, he's got the great speed to finish the play.
55-yard touchdown pass from Jack Hess to Will Moats, his second touchdown or reception of the season, and that kick is blocked. The first missed PAT by Alex Davies this year. 6-0, North Platte St. Pat's with the lead. We have 9:05 to play in the first quarter. Irish with a 55-yard touchdown pass. A break, and we're back after this on KODY and Husker Radio. And welcome back to Knights of Columbus Field. The kick by Jack Hess going to be taken by Braden Wenzel at the 1-yard line across the 10, 15. Jackson Roberts. Oh, he meets him at the 15. I tell you what, it's underrated, but kickoff return coverage has been, to me, the marquee spot of this season. Teams are averaging 12 yards a return, and that one got about 12 to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, great play there by Jackson Roberts, and then our guy Josh Davies is down there as well. Just really good discipline on Jackson's part. The return man kind of tried to freeze him and put a little move on, and Jackson just went right for the middle of him and took him down.
So GICC starts this drive at their own 15-yard line after going 3 and out on their opening drive. A couple carries by Brayton Johnson and one carry by Russ Martinez. Trips to the near side. Martinez rolling that way, running an option. He'll keep it. Trayton White holds on, throws him down for a loss of 2. Number 70 makes the play. Really nice defensive play by Trayton White. Loss. That's going to be back at the 10. A loss of 5.
Yeah, that's the second time on what I'd call kind of that speed option from Martinez that Trayton White has really had a bead on him and went straight at him. And a key a key component of defending that is doing just that. You've got to take that guy out and say you're going to have to pitch it, and then it becomes a thing where you got to cover up the perimeter.
Well, he shaded him inside as well. 2nd and 15. Martinez, a hitch pass here, throwing it near sideline for Herbeck, going up and incomplete. Gavin Nutter on the coverage, trying to reach over. It was Marcus Lowry, actually. No flag. It's going to fall incomplete. Probably there was definitely some jockeying by Nutter, who was on the outside there. It was right in front of Coach Dvorak, though, who didn't get the call. 3rd and 15. Irish might have caught a break there.
Yeah, I think so. But I think generally speaking, in the high school game, that they let a little more contact go, and that there was a little jostling back and forth. A little bit of what we saw from a couple Irish receivers last week, where the receiver maybe slowed up a little bit and made him run up his back some, and then it just becomes a judgment: is he just running, or is he actually impeding somebody, or whatever?
Irish going to Nathan Moats has the left defensive end here on 3rd down and 15. Ball at their own 10-yard line. Martinez rolling out of the pocket right side, looking to throw. Martinez now going to throw sideline, and it's caught in bounds. What a grab. Braden Wenzel at the 25. He is shy. He's right at the stick. He might be a half yard shy. What a catch, though, by Wenzel on the near sideline. He got 14, needed 15. It's a half a yard short. GICC's got a decision at their own 24.
And that was an incredible pass, too. Under heavy duress, Nathan Moats was back there really putting the pressure on Martinez, and he lofted it out there where only his guy could catch it, and only maybe that guy could catch it. That was a great play.
11th grab of the season, and on 4th and a half a yard. GICC from their own 24 going for it. 8:11 to play, opening quarter, down 6-0. In the shotgun position here is Martinez, and we have a flag on, well, we haven't seen the indication yet, but official trying to relay it onto the headman, and who now has it, and it is some sort of illegal procedure. Boy, that's just a disastrous 5-yard penalty. You know, GICC may have been looking for a hard count or something, but I got to think that was going to be a pretty risky play call to go for it there. There's been a couple negative plays already on the ground game. Now what do you do? Now they're sending out the punt unit.
Well, I would have to believe that on that play they were going to probably have Martinez carry the ball. I don't know, maybe just kind of a quarterback run off tackle, kind of a quarterback ISO. I don't know. I can't imagine they were going to get too crazy with that play call.
So he'll go back to punt at his own 5-yard line. Irish up 6-0, and they're looking to receive a punt here. As Moats and Nutter back deep. This one going to be catchable for Nate Will Moats up to his, he's going to let it bounce. Now he's going to pick it up at his own 46. Rushes to the right side, and he won't get away. If he would have caught that on the run, Will might have had a whole lot of room to run, but he just didn't feel comfortable getting up on it quick enough. And the Irish still have pretty good field position at the GICC 46-yard line to start their second drive, leading 6-0, just over 8 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
And it was a little tweener. It put him in kind of a bind, but I think it only emphasizes how important it is to be aggressive catching the ball, because you really have an opportunity to make a big play. And if you're Will Moats, you have the opportunity to make a really big play because of your speed.
Irish go I formation from the 46-yard line of GICC. 1st and 10. We're going right to left. Sweep left side for Gavin Nutter. Has some blockers. 45. Gavin to the outside. Slips a tackle at the 40. Spins out of another one. Down to the 39-yard line before he's bear hugged down on the tackle brought down by Ben Alberts. But what a nice run of 8 yards for Gavin Nutter on his first carry of the ball game.
Well blocked, and then he did a nice job of kind of jitterbugging up there like he does. He's very elusive, and he kind of was able to weave his way in there for a couple or 3 maybe extra at the end.
Gavin on the season, he went over 1,000 yards in his career last week. Now we see a flag back at the line of scrimmage, and this is going to be against the Irish.
I did not see the flag early, and I had just looked down, and the white hat was just making the call, so I'm not for sure. I would imagine a hold.
Yeah, probably in the vicinity of a hold. So 1st and 21 instead, back at their own 42, and that's a big one. Irish, of course, 13 last week for 95 yards. Didn't affect that game, albeit maybe just padded your stats a little bit, but that's a big one right here. Instead of 2nd and 2 at about the 40 of GICC, it's 1st and 21. I formation, one split out to the far side. They'll run handoff right side. Gavin Nutter, nice hole, 45. Gavin will be ankle tackled at the 47-yard line. He'll pick up 5 on 1st and 21. Good tackle on the play by GICC. And 2nd down and long upcoming for the Irish offense.
Yeah, that just points out how rough it is when you put yourself in a hole. You have a really nice gain there on 1st down, and you're still in a pretty tough down and distance situation.
North Platte St. Pat's averaging 268 yards per game, 217 on the ground, 52 through the air. They already have 55 in this game. Boy, I think Jackass has got a potential to have a pretty big season through the air. I think you'll start to see that more and more. Certainly saw it a lot last week, 5 of 8 for 99 yards. 2nd and 16, ball at their own 47, clock under 7 to play in the opening quarter. 6-0 green and gold. They'll run a counter pass. Like Hess trying to get out to the flat. He'll turn. He'll have to take a sack back at his own 30 and 6-yard line. Just didn't have anywhere to go with the ball, and didn't have anywhere to run either. As after he did his 2 fakes, he was already running for his life. Big loss, and it'll be 3rd and a mile.
It's the same play they ran for the touchdown. They ran counter boot to the right the last time, and had Will wide open. And that time they ran counter boot coming back toward us here to the left, and just too much pressure. And in addition to that, Will was covered down the field as well.
Back at their own 37, I wouldn't imagine that was going to get too tricky here. 6-13 quarter one. That's a drive killer. 3rd and 25. We'll see if they can pull some magic out of their hat here. Split back formation. They'll run a dive for Alex Davies across the 40. Alex going to be pulling defenders to the 47, 48-yard line. It's a great first down run. It's about 11 yards for Alex on his first carry, but it's still going to be 4th and 15, and the Irish will send out the punt unit here for the first time.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign. I mean, that's one. If I would have had a guess, I would think they're going to give it to Alex, just let him bang on him a little bit, get what yardage you can, and punt it away. And that was a good, strong run by Alex, and I think something you look at to come back to later.
Sonoman doing the punting duties. Took over last week. 33-yard average on 3 punts along a 40. He can get a good one here. Plenty of time. He'll put a good boot to it. Back deep is Wenzel. He'll catch it at his own 8-yard line and call for a fair catch. Heck of a boot by Tegan Sonoman. That's the first punt inside the 20 this year by the Irish.
And Tegan just strong like that. It wasn't a spiral. You wouldn't say it really turned over. He just put a really strong leg to it, got it up there, and you do have the benefit of a little wind here out of the east, maybe a little bit even out of the southeast that carried the ball, and probably fortunate they opted for the fair catch there.
Had a little room to run, it looked like. Out comes the GICC offense, which so far has gone 3 and out twice here in this ball game. And they bring out Russ Martinez and company. Again, this offensive line, it's not real big. They go 188, 163, 154, 171, and 170. But here, with Martinez in that backfield, they just need to stall the defense for a second or two, and he's got some room. Here's an option play on the right side. Has the pitch man open. He pitches it to him across the 10. Hits to the 15. Ushered out of bounds by the Irish's Landon Nichols and Joe Hyrigs, but Brayton Johnson able to pick a good gainer on first down. Actually, that was Gavin Nutter, and Gavin comes up limping. After the tackle, that's a good gain of 6 yards on first down, and boy, the bigger thing is Gavin Nutter now, who is favoring his left ankle pretty significantly right now.
Yeah, that's no good at all there.
7-yard gain as it was, and the Irish didn't, first couple option plays, have gotten to the quarterback. That time he was really 2-on-1 with his pitch man, and he handled it pretty well. And they'll take a look at Gavin Nutter. We'll take a timeout. Injury break here. 5:17, quarter number 1, 6-0. North Platte St. Pat's out front on KODY. Hey, if you're heading out of town, take your dog to Pazzapalooza, the only doggy daycare facility in North Platte with doggy day camp and overnight boarding. Pazzapalooza is your pet's happy place. Call in advance to book and visit pazzapaloozaplace.com for more information. Gavin Nutter getting helped off the field. That's an awful sight for the Irish to see. It's a two-way starter for this team, and he's not putting much pressure on that left side, unfortunately. Irish going to miss 38 in a big, big way. Hope this is nothing too serious for him. And we'll find out who's in his place here for the Irish defense. So I'll have to make some changes. There's not there is some depth out there, certainly, but
it's like Josh Davies
coming in on that far side. Maybe Will Moats. Him and Will Moats are on that right side here. 2nd down and 3 coming out of the break. 5:17 quarter 1. St. Pat's leading 6-0. We'll keep an eye on Gavin on the sideline here as he heads to the bench. Martinez in the A shotgun set here. He has a back behind him, just off to his left. Two split to the far side. A flag stops his play, or a whistle, I should say. I don't see a flag. Officials timeout here. Maybe
if they had blood on somebody or an equipment problem. No, I think his shoulder pad was just out of his jersey, and they made him come off for that.
That was Tanner Turek, the senior. He'll come out. Tanner, that's an interesting position. He's an offensive lineman and a defensive back.
Yeah, that'll happen now and again, yeah.
2nd and 3, ball at their own 16. Martinez in a pistol set. Snap back to him, looks left, throws. A step pass, quick one, complete across the 21, up to the 22. It's a first down pass. Pitch and catch to Braden Wenzel. Both completions go to him, and the senior gets the first down for GICC of the game. And so up to the 23. It's a gain of 7. Martinez 2 for 3. Both of them again going to number 21. First down to the 23-yard line. Again, Irish losing Gavin Nutter here to injury. He's getting worked out on the bench right now. 1st and 10, 5:03, clock ticking, opening quarter, 6-0 North Platte St. Pat's. They struck on a 55-yard touchdown pass on their second offensive play of the ball game. Two split to the near side for Martinez. Rolls that Ray, runs an option play. Martinez gets out to the flat, now pitches it across the 20. Johnson on the carry, tackled at the 25-yard line. Nice play in open space, short gain of 2 yards. Strung that one out well with Joe Heirigs and Landon Nichols.
Yeah, and that Landon and Joe getting to the sideline was really key there because Trayton really crashed in hard. Then that forced Alex to take the quarterback, and so then they had to have those secondary guys getting out there clear to the perimeter. So the best pursuit we've seen so far on speed option there.
Johnson 4 carries, 15 yards, 4:19, quarter 1. Snap back on 2nd and 8, looking left. He's going to throw over the middle now. Got a man, Charles Armstrong, but it's knocked away by Landon Nichols. Oh, Landon read the eyes really well. He was beat, but he made a play as Armstrong was cut Dyson right down the heart of the field, and he knocked it down, put his hands up, and knocked it away.
Well, that was a little bit of a blind squirrel finding a nut there, but at least he put his hand up just at the right time. I think in Landon's mind, he's just scrambling. I'm just going to try to keep something bad from happening. He did a really good job before that. During the flight of the ball, he caught up a lot because I think if Martinez puts a little more air under that, throws it a little longer, we probably got a real problem there.
For what it's worth, Gavin Nutter's up and doing some warm-ups here. We'll see if we can see him, get him back in the game. Trips left side on 3rd down and 8. Ball in the near hash. Martinez looking this sideline. Lowry has it at the 35. That's a beautiful pitch and catch. Needed 8. He beat Heirigs for a first down, picking up right at 10.
That's the other guy we'll probably see out here quite a bit in the absence of Gavin Nutter is Connor Hazenauer. He's played quite a bit anyway, but he'll probably have a little bigger role, particularly I would think maybe on passing downs.
Lowry, leading receiver, 15 grabs there. He had 4 last week against Centennial with 111 yards. Had a 75-yarder, got 10 there. Second first down for GICC. Ball in the near hash at their own 35-yard line. Trips far side, looks this way, pump fakes this way. Now Martinez flushed out of the pocket, looking to run. He'll get hit hard. Jackson Roberts and Justin Troll throw him out of bounds. It's a gain of maybe a yard on the play. They're going to mark him right at the 35. Jackson coming up and laying the smackdown.
That looked like it could be a little bit of trouble because that play went quite a ways, went for quite a while, I should say, and the pursuit, the pocket kind of tightened a little bit, and he broke the pocket, and it looked like he could get to the outside, but Jackson did a good job of pursuing him to the sideline.
2nd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Trips to the open side. Isolated on this side is Marcus Lowry for Russ Martinez with the back on his left hip. Irish look like they may be coming after him. They don't. Martinez rolls left side. Now they do come after him, and Landon Nichols with the sack in the backfield for the Irish. That's going to go back to the 30, a loss of 5. 3rd down and 15 coming up.
Yeah, and Landon really timed that well. He was able to just find the perfect seam there and run right to Martinez without any opportunity for Martinez to do anything with the ball.
3rd down and 15 back at their own 30. There are some negative plays here that have hurt Grand Island Central Catholic, trailing 6-0. I see Gavin Nutter just came off the field, so he was out there for a play. We'll keep an eye on 38. 3rd and 15 here. Converted a couple of them on this drive is Grand Island. Ball their own 30-yard line. Trips 2-2 to split to each side. Snap back to Martinez. Now with steps up in the pocket. Martinez looking to run. Jackson Roberts, what an open field tackle. A gain of 1. That's a senior on freshman, and the freshman won the battle.
I think everybody, the Irish coaches and us up here calling the game when Martinez It ended up looking like a draw. It wasn't a design draw, but he broke pressure and came up the middle of the field. It looked like it could be real trouble, and there Jackson Roberts kind of came from out of the frame and made the tackle there.
That is the play that I was worried about, certainly in this one. Martinez, Grand Island Central Catholic, they don't have a punter out there. Martinez not doing the duties here. He's coming off, and they're bringing on number 80, Isaac Herbick, to do the honors. Here is Irish put back. Is Nutter out there? I think he might be. Will Moats as well. Herbick receives a snap. Irish come after him, don't quite get it. Boy, and Nutter's going to let that go out of bounds. Boy, Josh Davies almost right there to extend his nomination for Special Teams Player of the Year. He was close, and Irish don't get a return, and they'll take over at their own 43-yard line. 2:22 to go in our opening quarter, 6-0. That's a big stop by the Irish, giving up a couple first downs, but the 8-play drive stalls, and they'll get good field position, this time at their own 44.
The play that Landon Nichols made on option there was huge, where he was able to get to Martinez before he was able to make any decision. And then I want to say, too, on that punt return there where they had block on, looked like they might have sent a few extra guys. Coach Braithwaite will make a note of that to come back to that because they did get awfully close.
Jackson Roberts, the deep back, instead of Gavin Nutter. They'll sweep it right side for the freshman at the 45. Jackson throws over a defender. Helmet comes off. He's at the 49-yard line. That's a physical 4-yard run. He'll come out, and we'll see a third back in that backfield. Jackson met a defender who had a pretty good lick, but Jackson went forward. He got forward.
He did. I think he got shook up a little bit. He was running awfully hard and got flipped to his back. Really, he might have even lost his air. He went down extremely hard. He's over there behind the group and on the sideline. I would appear maybe trying to get his air back.
16th carry for the freshman, 118 yards now on the year, averaging nearly 8 yards a carry. 2nd and 5. We'll see if they ride the big fullback, Alex Davies. Gavin Nutter back in, 2nd and 5 from their own 49. Man in motion is Hyriggs. Outside split on his own side. Those quick pitch near side for Davies, trying to get to the edge. Alex going to do his best to get what he can. He'll lose one. There is a flag at the right when this play started. It would be a loss of 1 and 3rd and 6. We'll see what the penalty is.
I wonder if they thought Joe Hyriggs started upfield. I don't know. I didn't feel like he really did, but he might have been angling toward the line of scrimmage. I'm not for sure what they called.
We were a beeline. We were right on the line of scrimmage where we're at. I didn't think he did, but it's got to almost be that.
It was a motion penalty. Maybe they didn't, unless they didn't all come, maybe everybody didn't come set long enough before they put Joe in motion. I'm not for sure. That'd be a shift. I don't know. They signaled motion.
It'll be 2nd down and really 10, so take away that play for Davies. And second penalty on the Irish of the ballgame. Our scoreboard brought to you by Sandhills State Bank, your financial partner in the Sandhills, and the most committed brand in banking. Find them online at sandhillsstate.com or stop in at 803 South Dewey in North Platte. It reads 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. St. Pat 6-0. Will Moats on a 55-yard touchdown catch from Jack Hess got things started. The Crusaders have gone 3 drives and 3 punts. The Irish second drive went 3 and out. This one 2nd and 10 from their own 44. Hess brings them out. He's got Davies, Will Moats, and Gavin Nutter in the backfield. No Jackson Roberts back in. Both of them a little shaken up. Roberts in there right now on 2nd and 10. They'll fake it to him. He'll look to throw. He's going to air it out one-on-one, and it's caught at the 31-yard line. Did he say Will Moats or Nathan Moats was there? I think he caught it. They're going to say incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had that in his hands, and then maybe came out when he went down.
Yeah, he did have it, and it came out. I think more often than not that probably gets called a catch, but you gotta secure it all the way to the ground.
Boy, you'd like to see an instant replay of that one. I think we'd be looking at that one several angles. That was a beautiful pass. And
what a nice pass.
Pretty
just
close
landed
one.
Right in the breadbasket.
Right. Moats had somebody coming from behind him. That would have been Nathan's second grab, but incomplete. It'll bring up now 3rd and 10, back of their own 44. Buck 22 opening quarter. Alex Davies, Jackson Roberts, left and right respectively in the T formation. They'll give it to Roberts he'll run to the near side. He'll be tackled from behind. A loss of a half of a yard. Excellent play defensively there by number 66, Will Goring. The senior makes the play. He leads the team with 23 tackles prior to this game. 4th and 10. The Irish will 3 and out.
It counter set up there, and there was just a little too much penetration on the back side of the play. It was pretty well blocked here where Jackson was getting to. If he needs one more step, which is often the case, but they did a good job pursuing there on the weak side.
Irish just unable to. First down has been a killer last couple drives. Tegan Soderman had a good boot. This one has time. He gets a spiraling kick. Wenzel coming up will catch it at his own 16-yard line across the 20. Has a hole, 25. He's up to the 30 before he's finally brought down. And on the stop for North Platte St. Pat's, Jackson Lake. And it'll be a 30-yard line is where GICC will start this drive. 37 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Joe Hyriggs and Jackson Lake down there doing a nice job, and return man did a good job of catching it, which, as we said, that's the key part to getting any kind of return is the timing, and in order to have good timing, you got to get it caught.
So first down and 10 from the 30, 37 seconds to play for Martinez here in the first quarter, down 6-0. He'll have a back just to his right and a back behind him as well. Kind of a pistol set with a back next to him. He'll fake it. He'll give it right up the middle. The back goes, and he'll dive forward to the 32. Check the number as they untapile here. Trayton White, Jackson Lake in on the stop for North Platte St. Pat's. It's silver numerals, so the numbers are just a disaster to read with that white, but that was Wenzel on the carry. Braden Wenzel getting I believe his first carry of the year.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Scholes is in there now at defensive tackle along with Brecken Erickson, who started out the game.
Actually didn't get anything. 2nd and 10 at the 30. I thought I saw a player fall forward. I guess that wasn't the ball carrier, and that'll end the first quarter of play. Irish get one big play, a 55-yard touchdown pass. That's your first quarter. 6-0, North Platte St. Pat's over GICC. We're back to Knights of Columbus Field after this on KODY. That timeout brought to you by Fortify Group in North Platte. Rely on Fortify for all your insurance needs. See Kevin McGann under the bright green awning at 408 South Jeffers or call 221-6962. Tanner Struckman back with you here at Knights of Columbus Field. Bill O'Malley as well. Also welcome in our viewers on our North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page. And big shout out to our filmer Matthew Leach, who's doing a good job. He's filming 2 games right now. He's pulling double duty. Here comes second down and 10, I should say, for the Crusaders at their own 30. Start of the second quarter. Martinez with the back to his right, back behind him, one split out to each side. He'll give it to that fullback. No, he'll keep it. On the right side now, he'll pitch. Good, wide open pitch. Across the 40, to the 45, to the 50. Not sure. No, slip. One tackle doesn't get by Jack Hess. He holds on, but a monster gainer. That's going to go for 30 yards.
I think when Jack Hess hit the brakes over there as the runner cut back, he might have rolled his ankle, it looks like.
So a big first down. There is a flag for what it's worth at the 40, which is not the ball where the ball is. The ball is on the Irish 40. The flag's back at the Crusader 40, but the concern right now is Jack Hess, who is down at the 42 right now. What looked to be an injury there.
I think, as I said, he was really sprinting to the sideline to cut off the ball carrier, and and the ball carrier planted and cut back inside. Jack did the same thing, did a good job to get the runner on the ground, but I think when he planted to come back and make the tackle, he must have rolled his foot over.
Well, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. Jack's getting helped off. The one good piece, I guess, was it was a Crusader penalty of a hold back at the 40. It's going to go basically back to the line of scrimmage. And Crusaders, they can't believe it.
Yeah, there's a flag on top of a flag. They got evidently there was an objection to what the original flag was.
Oh, there was an extra one thrown.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
There was an unsportsmanlike
okay.
on top of it.
I missed that.
As they made their way back to the huddle, one of them walked by the white hat and drew a flag there.
Coach Dvorak here in that explanation right now. Wow, this is a big. I think someone's coming out of the ball game right now. You heard Coach Dvorak call for Tristan Schulte to come in, a senior, and that's going to back, the Crusaders back up to their own 15-yard line, 14-yard line. They were going to be at the 40-yard line of St. Pat's. That's going to go down as a 45-yard pullback there with 2 penalties. Wow. And ultimately 25 yards of penalty on the Crusaders.
Yeah, that
someone's getting an earful right now. Second down, and
he didn't wait for the sub to get all the way to the huddle before he came to the sideline. He knew it was coming.
So for second down and 25, back at their own 15-yard line. Now they'll go a little tighter formation here. Martinez looking to the official to have the signal. Now he does. This is the play here. Obviously, you can't give up too much here. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Martinez sees a bit of a seam across the left side. He's across the 21, and he'll get short yardage. It'll bring up third down and long. Gavin Nutter in the game, but he's certainly got a limp. Jack Hess is out of the game right now. Will Moats playing safety for North Platte St. Pat's. Gavin's got a limp. That was a gain right there of 6. I think Irish you're okay giving that up. Now it's third and about 19 yards.
Justin Schroll did a nice job making that tackle. He didn't have a great angle. He'd come upfield a little bit, and Martinez cut under him, and Justin was able to adjust and get him down.
Johnson, the back, right to the left of Martinez. Third and 19, he'll throw this way. Just angling it up near sideline. Got a step is Herbeck, but he overthrows him by a foot. Isaac Herbeck. Boy, the Irish have seen that one a few times. And I guarantee you Martinez and Herbeck have done that play quite a few times between practice and game. That one was just a step too far. It'll be a fourth down punt.
Yeah, and he was able to get past the Irish's fastest defensive back, I think, there in Will Moats. And Will, I wouldn't say got fooled or anything. He turned and ran with Herbeck, but he was still able to get by him.
So fourth down and 19 to punt is Martinez back in the game. He's in his own 5-yard line. Moats and Nutter back at the 40. Martinez gets a high punt. This is going to be catchable. Nutter back, and he's going to let it bounce, and it'll take an Irish bounce back to the 41-yard line. Probably not the worst decision by Gavin because he was going to get smacked. He either needed a fair catch or let it go. And considering his condition right now, a little hobbled, and the way that bounce went, it turned out to be okay.
I got to believe that had something to do with it. I think normally that's a play that Gavin would try to make, but knowing that he's a little bit limited mobility-wise. And the fact is, as you described it, there wasn't any yardage to be had there. Turns out the best thing that could happen is the ball checks up and goes back in the Irish's favor, and that's just what happened.
All right, let's see who quarterbacks this one. Jack Hess, I haven't seen him. I'm not sure he's coming on. Alex Davies right now is not coming on. I think the Irish are going to have to take time out here. They don't have Davies or Hess in right now, and I think Coach is going to try to buy a little time for Davies, who's taking some warm-up snaps. So I think you're going to have a timeout here when it gets down to the last opportunity. 6-0 St. Pat's, 10:57 to play in the second quarter. Their starting quarterback right now out with an injury, and they will take their first timeout. This timeout brought to you by Fortified Group of North Platte, 6-0 St. Pat's. HG Management's ready to put their half a century of experience to work for you, whether it's farm and ranch management, ag appraisals, or ag real estate sales. See Kurt Pieper, Hank Nicely, or Justin Pieper at HG Management in North Platte. So out comes Alex Davies, the quarterback now for St. Pat's, a 6'1", 185-pound senior course, a guy that did it two years ago for St. Pat's as a backup. He's got enough experience to do the job. Will Motes and Jackson Roberts are the backs. They'll sweep it right side for Jackson across the 40, 45. Jackson to the 50. Jackson's got a first down to the 45. Boy, I think you're going to see a lot of number 8 right now. He's got 13 yards and a first down. That is just the second first down of the game for the Irish outside of the touchdown. First and 10.
Boy, Brecken Erickson out there on the perimeter really put it on somebody.
13-yard gain for Roberts as Gavin Nutter hobbled. You have Jack Hess hobbled as well. And he's getting looked at right now on the sideline. First and 10 at the 45 in Crusader territory. And Davies back under center with a wing back left. He'll sweep, quick pitch right side, bad pitch, and it's going to be picked up by Grand Island Central Catholic at the 36. Just not a good pitch to Will Motes, and he was trying to play defense there to keep the Crusader away from it, and the first turnover of the game is a costly one for the Irish.
Yeah, there you might if you're Will, you might go ahead and tackle that guy and see who ends up with it. The worst you're going to get, if you get back on it, the worst you're going to get is a hold. And if they get on it anyway, they're going to decline it. But, you know, that's one of those things. I don't know if he could have kept him from it, but he probably would have been okay to go ahead and tackle him.
So a costly turnover by the Irish. And it also flipped with the way the pitch was. It went backwards quite a ways to the 38-yard line. First turnover of the game, and that's where GICC takes over. 10:31, second quarter. And a flag, maybe a delay of game. It's a back judge that called it. Boy, it seemed quick, but that's what it was. GICC gets tapped for a 5-yarder. Their third penalty already of the game. They're trying to eclipse 13 by St. Pat's last week.
Boy, they must have gotten the ball marked quick and ready for play, because I'm with you. It didn't seem like tempo-wise it'd been too long since the fumble was recovered.
Yeah, that was quick. First and 15 now at the 43-yard line. Snap back to Martinez. He'll hand it off this time. Nowhere to go. Johnson corralled by the Irish. Boy, they handle that run really well. Jackson Roberts, Trayton White on the play. No gain, second down and 15.
Yeah, just a flood of Irish defenders right up the middle. They're not getting very many guys taken care of. I think you might see them come back and try to attack the Irish perimeter again.
Second and 15 at the 43-yard line. Clock will tick under seconds. 10 to play in the second quarter. 6-0 green and gold. Marcus Lowry split to the far side. Herbeck to the near side. Martinez rolling this way on a quarterback draw. Martinez trying to get to the edge. Gets around one. Slips down at the 43. It's no gain around the play. Nutter forced him in. Nutter is playing through some pain right now. Just about getting him. Maybe Justin Schroll in the backfield. That's a loss of, or a gain of 1 ultimately, but there was an Irish player nearly got to him.
Brecken Erickson there. Brecken Erickson was the one that really flushed him out. So good job by the defensive tackle here on the near side to get clear back there.
Martinez, 7 carries, 1 yard. He had 9 for 93 against the Irish a year ago. Third down and 14. Ball at the Irish 42-yard line. Trips to the far side. Herbeck to the near side. Motes on him. Snap back to Martinez. Looks right. Now looks left. Pump fake. Throws over the middle. Got a man. Overthrows him, though. Incomplete. And to bring up fourth down. Irish defense, they're all hobbled right now. They're short-handed, but they're getting the job done. It's 4th and 14, and GICC may be in a position to go for it. They could certainly pin the Irish offense, and probably, if you can get it stopped, get the ball back right here, they'll have a decision on 4th and 14.
I think if I'm them, I punt it.
I do too.
And kind of challenge our offense. It's a little short-handed right now, but we'll see what they do. It looks like maybe they're coming out to run a play. The thing is, the Irish front's doing such a nice job against the run game up the middle. I think it's affording them the opportunity to get in good pass coverage.
It's 4th down and 14 from the 42 of St. Pat's, and we'll have a timeout from Coach Dvorak to think about this. He maybe wanted to see what the defense was going to look like. We'll take it. 9:16 second quarter, 6-0. It's a defensive battle right now. St. Pat's and GICC, a big 4th down coming up after this. Welcome back on KODY, 1240 AM, 106.1 FM. Out of the timeout, it looks like Coach Dvorak rethought his decision. He looks like he's probably going to punt this one. Take a quick step into the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk. Check on area scores. Nebraska Land National Bank, community-minded just like you. Congrats to North Platte. They get a 3-0 win, defeating Lincoln North Star 35-21 earlier today. Juanita Palisade in a close one with Banner County, 75-0 a final there. And Martinez will punt from his own 43. The Irish are just going to send Moats back. Martinez will, not a high but not deep punt. And it's got an angle bounce that's going to go sideways at the 21. And Crusaders let it go, and it'll go to the 23-yard line. Will Moats was racing up to maybe try to scoop that one up. And I tell you, if Reed Martinez isn't Johnny on the spot, Will's rolling over there. He's racing down the sidelines. So Reed Martinez with a nice heady play to touch it or keep him from picking it up. Irish take over at their own 23, 9:04 to play in the second.
Yeah, so that was a good play by Martinez because Will was aware that the official had thrown the bag. You know, that's a thing that's a little bit risky. If the kicking team has touched it, then of course you can pick it up and advance it as the return team, but you better be sure that the official saw it be hit, and the bag was right in front of Will. He knew the official had marked that it was touched there.
First down and 10. Here's Davies. Hand off right side. Jackson Roberts, 25. Jackson to the edge, 30. Jackson Roberts, 40. Down the sideline, 50, 45. Cuts inside 40. Down to the 34-yard line. Welcome the freshman to Knights of Columbus Field.
Wow. That was some real athleticism on display there. He beat him to the edge, and then you know there was a defender, I think maybe the free safety Herbeck that had the angle on him, and so he stopped up and cut back and got a stiff arm in and really extended that for all it was worth.
42-yard gain for Jackson Roberts, a big one there, and he might become the cowbell for the Irish, who are a little hobbled. He's got four carries, 59 yards. First and 10 to the Crusader 35-yard line, 8:37 to play, second quarter. Davies will hand it off. Roberts right side 40, runs over his own player, and got down to the 34-yard line, a gain of 2. Boy, if he could just get around Will Moats, who was blocking a couple guys to his credit. He's got some room to run. Gain of 2.
You know, in this whole thing, that may be where the challenge is the greatest in the backfield, is that you don't have the big physical fullback in Alex Davies back there now that he's had to take over quarterbacking duties. Really, in Jackson and Will, you have really two more tailbacks, really, by nature.
Irish missing Jack Hess and right now Gavin Nutter. I think Coach probably saying, Gavin, you're going to play defense for sure. We need you there more right now. Here's second down and 8. They'll run it. Roberts up the middle. Not much. He does get a couple after taking a defender for one, but nice play by Goring on the tackle, who makes a bunch of them. And it's third down and 7 on the play. It's one thing Jackson gives you, though. He's never going to get pushed back too often. He's usually going to fall forward.
Yeah, he does. He's a really physical runner.
Third down and 8 here. Well, long 7 for St. Pat's at the Crusader 33-yard line. 7:23 second quarter. St. Pat's here with a big third down coming up. Alex Davies quarterbacking here. You have Will Moats, maybe Joe Hyriggs and Jackson Roberts. So quarterback boot right side. Alex trying to get to the edge, and a nice open field tackle at the 32. He got a couple, and Mr. Bill O'Malley's the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got a piece of tape right here that says boot that he wrote down about 2 seconds before that game. Fourth down and 6. You called it. It didn't work as well as we wanted, but it called it.
It looked like it was going to shape up pretty well, but they did a nice job of adjusting, and I still think it was the right play. You got to give your big guy an opportunity to get his pads down. He just couldn't get quite enough steam up before they got to him.
Watch for maybe a hard count here to make it a little easier, 4th and 6 instead of might be 4th and 1. We'll see what Davies does. He does. No jump. Tries it again. No jump. Might see Coach take a timeout, and you will. Hey, I called one there. I thought
That's
that was
right.
cool.
That's right. That's good.
We got this team figured out. 4th down and 6. Irish take their timeout. 6:23 to play in the second quarter, leading GICC 6-0 from Knights of Columbus Field. 4th down and 6. Irish coming out of the timeout. They're second. They're going for it at the GICC 31-yard line. Davies quarterbacking duties. Power behind him. He goes to Jackson Roberts left side. He won't get it. Nowhere to go. He lost a bunch. Braden Wenzel makes a beautiful play. It's going to be a loss of 6, and the Irish turn it over at the 38-yard line in Crusader territory. A 5-play drive stalls on a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they had that pretty well sniffed out. Obviously, the Irish had good success running Jackson Roberts on toss sweep, and they just, I think almost when the Irish came out in that full house backfield, I think they almost started running to the strong side.
GICC, their 6th drive of the ball game so far. They've punted 5 times, down 6-0, 6:18 to play here in the second quarter. Trips to the near side, one to the far side for Martinez. He'll give it this time. It's Johnson, right side, gets across the 40, push back then at the 41. Gain of 2 or 3 for Johnson, who has 6 carries for 17 yards. Right now on the ground, GICC with 18 rushing yards, 31 passing yards. It's been a stalemate offensively outside of really one play. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, 3 of the Irish linebackers were in on that play. I think Alex Davies maybe was the first one in there in low, and then Jackson Roberts, the 2 interior guys, Jackson Roberts and Landon Nichols, came in and finished it off.
2 safety set here. That's a little different here. 2nd down and 7. They'll throw a step pass near side for Wenzel. Will catch it at the 40. Wenzel across the 45. He's right at first down stick. Breaks the tackle. Now to the 40. Cuts back to the far side. Now it's a foot race. 35. Wenzel 30. Picks up a late block 20. 15 to the 10. He's going to be ankle tackled by Hazenauer inside the 5-yard line. Couple missed tackles out on the near sideline, and he's off to the run.
It just didn't wrap up. I mean, he was actually stopped. They had completely stopped him, but nobody really had a hold of him, and he kept driving his legs and popped out of there, and then it was real trouble. Connor did a great job of catching it.
56-yard completion. Wenzel with 3 grabs for 76 yards here in this one. And it's a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. 5:26 in the second quarter. 6-0 St. Pat's, but GICC knocking on the door. Martinez in the shotgun. He'll run a quarterback draw left side. Martinez diving for the end zone, and he is in. 3-yard touchdown run by Russ Martinez, and this game is tied after a 3-play drive, 6-6. Oh, now we got a flag.
I think it's just going to be a long PAT. I think it looks like maybe it's on the Crusaders, but it was after the touchdown.
Coach Dvorak not by any means happy here. It is a dead ball personal foul on the Crusaders. That's the 2nd one of the game, and already their 5th penalty. And you know what? That's not... This is a team that hasn't had very many opportunities. I don't have an extra point in the stats. And it's 6-0 right now, so that is I'm sure Coach Dvorak saying, guys, that's a costly penalty because a 2-point conversion, unless you don't take it.
They're gonna make them. They're gonna assess it on the kickoff, and that could shape the Irish up pretty good.
Schulte will do the kicking duties. He has not had an extra point, at least in the stats I got. He is 0 for 1 on field goals. No, they're going to back him up on the extra point.
I thought they'd given him the choice, but it looks like they're going to mark it back here. And I didn't know what. You know, if the kicker's really strong, then you challenge that. But I think this is the right call, considering that it doesn't have a made PAT. Is that
at least statistically, I don't. And of course, they had only most of their touchdowns last week. I don't know how many they kicked last week or even attempted. But Schulte will line this one up. It's going to be a lot further back. They'll mark it at the 18. This is a 35-yard extra point for Schulte. Official coming around now. Clock at 5:15 here in the second quarter. Snap back, it's high, he gets it down, it's blocked. Irish got a touch on it. He was trying to drive that one, and we're tied at 6. It's a costly penalty by GICC. They will not have the lead. 5:15 second quarter, 6-6 tie here from Knights of Columbus Field. A three-play, 62-yard drive by Grand Island Central Catholic, finished off by a 3-yard touchdown run. Six to nothing here with 5:15 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, big penalty, big costly penalty for the Crusaders.
Ben Alberts will tee it up. And here comes St. Pat's back deep with Will Moats and Jackson Roberts. This might be an opportunity for the Irish they're shorthanded right now for some offense. We'll see if they can get a return. Jackson Roberts at the 12-yard line across the 15. Roberts to the 25, middle 35, Jackson 40, Jackson across the 45. Tackle there. Nice tackle to keep him from busting that one through the seam. You really needed one more guy to beat Roberts, though. On kickoff returns this year, Jackson is averaging 38 yards per return, and right there, he got out to the 45. He got about 35 yards on that return. There is an injured Crusader down here. We've seen some injuries happen in this game. Costly ones, certainly for St. Pat's, and we'll check the number as soon as we can for the Crusaders here as we get a break, 5:07, second quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was maybe Landon Nichols had a pretty physical block there on the play.
Now they're going to get him up. Couple Crusader staff out there to help him come off the field. I can't quite tell the number. I'm going to have to wait for him to come all the way off before I do any speculation.
Yeah, I can't see it either. You hit the nail on the head. The jerseys are very difficult to read.
Silver on white's tough. He's all the way on 26, Ben Alberts. He's a sophomore defensive starter. He's also their kicker. So the Irish take over at the 45 here. 5:07 to play here in the second quarter. Right now, tied at 6, and now for the Irish, you're certainly shorthanded, and Jack Hess hasn't been out there for the last two drives at quarterback. Gavin Nutter's been pretty hobbled. He hasn't been out there on offense. Alex Davies will do the quarterback duties. Gavin's coming back out, but we haven't seen anything of Jack Hess, and I haven't really seen him on the sidelines at all.
Well, I just saw him, and it didn't look like he was able to put much, if any, weight on his foot, so I don't expect to see him.
Here's Davies handing off Jackson Roberts right side. Can't get past the secondary. He'll get 3 yards on the stop as Johnson. 2nd and 7, 4:59, second quarter here. Irish tied up at 6 at their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, and the ideal situation, of course, would just be to have a nice time-consuming, 55-yard drive here and try to finish it then. But at the very least, you want to do everything you can to minimize the amount of time that the Crusaders might get the ball back and be able to regroup a little bit with some guys having to be shuffled around here.
Gavin Nutter has moved up to the up back in this powerized set. Moats in between. Jackson Roberts behind him. It's a counter or pass here, a play action pass to Will Moats, and that's really no gain. First go, maybe a half a yard for Alex Davies to Moats. So Will catches his second grab of the year. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Looked like just maybe kind of a little blast pass, a little quick out there from the middle back in Will Moats. Pretty well executed. He gives you a chance. It was a good tackle on the part of the Crusader corner there.
Davies, of course, again, has played some quarterback for North Platte St. Pat's. Been a couple years since he's done that, but he does have some reps under center in his career. He is now 2 for 2 in his career for 4 yards. He'll counter, and he'll hand it off left side. Will Moats to the outside. Will needs to beat one man for a first down. Slips around him, and that slowed him down a little bit. He got about 5, needed 7. That's a really nice play after he shifted past 1 on the stop for the Crusaders. I think maybe Reed Martinez making it. It's, a good gain of 5 for Will on his first carry of the game, but it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, I think you gotta punt this away, and you've already kind of spent the bullet trying to draw him off, so I think you're just punting it away.
Tegan Soneman, Alex Davies back there to punt this one.
And I wonder if something's going on with Tegan, because Alex was trying to get off the field, and wanted Seth Engler said, you got to stay out here.
Low snap goes through his legs. He's back. He bobbles it. He'll dive on it, and it'll be Crusader ball at the 33. A disaster on the special teams. 3:32 to play in the second, and Crusaders have excellent field position just inside the 35, and now there's a Crusader down.
And he really had time if he's just able to go back there and pick it up. He had plenty of time to still pick it up and punt it. They were not coming at all. I'm sure they're thinking, get any kind of a return and put something together here. But Alex just couldn't quite get the handle on it, and eventually they got to him.
It is Reed Martinez coming off, a senior. He's a two-way starter and a very, very important part of this team. So he's coming up. He's in some pain. He got helped off by a couple of Crusaders, and now he's down here on the sideline getting looked at. But he's in a lot of pain. Boy, this has been a rough game for some big players.
Yeah, that'd be a big loss for them for sure.
At the 35 of St. Pat's territory, GICC with 3:32 on the clock. Trips to the near side in the second quarter. One to the far side for Martinez. Snap back, he'll keep it himself. He gets around Schroll, but then he meets a wall. Irish read that one really well. They'll give him no gain. Second down and 10. Eventually bring him down after at 4 or 5 come in for the stop, but read that one really well. Second down.
Yeah, and again, I'm digging up bones here, but if you just get any kind of a punt away there, I think it makes it a little tricky for them time-wise. They haven't been able to do outside of a big play. I mean, we've done a pretty good job of really limiting their run game, but now you get kind of a short field. The clock really isn't that much of a factor.
Under 3 to play here in the second quarter. Second down and 10 at the Irish 34-yard line. Maybe 9.5. Martinez with a snap, throwing right side. Get caught by him. Lowry slips. Oh, he can't get by the ankle. Good way to save himself was Connor Hasenauer. Gave up about 7 yards, but he held on to an ankle by all he could. It'll bring up third down and 3.
Yeah, he did do a good job. He had to have the claws out there because he made a really aggressive play coming up on the receiver. And if Connor doesn't hang on there and bring him down, that was going to be real trouble.
Second grab for Lowry, 17 yards. Martinez, 5 of 9, 94 yards through the air today. Third down and about 2.5. Ball at the Irish 27. Clock down to 2:14. GICC has 2 timeouts remaining yet in this ball game. They'll put 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Martinez looking this way, throws over the middle, caught by Charles Armstrong at the 21. First down, just too much of a cushion, and he's able to get 7 yards and a first down.
So now it's 2:02, and they get a fresh set of downs. And as I said, they're probably not in a situation. I think they have at least a couple of timeouts. Is that accurate?
They have 2 timeouts remaining as they enter the 20-yard line here. Clock under 2 minutes to play. Coming up at halftime, we'll get all the numbers of this first half. We'll take a look at area scores, and we'll chat with Jenna Blakely from North Platte St. Pat's, a senior. Student of the month of September. First down and 10 here for Martinez. He'll give it this time. Johnson off the left side has a hole. He gets 4, but a good open field tackle by Landon Nichols. It'll bring up second and 6. Clock at 1:39, ticking down.
Yeah, the run game's been pretty limited here. The Irish have done a nice job of that. Even going into the second half, I wonder if the Crusaders will continue to be as balanced as they were in the first half. They might look to kind of cut it loose, but right now they're still giving it a go in that run game some.
Minute 20, second 6. Martinez looking right, throwing. It is caught at the 10. It's right at the first down stick. On his hip with a tackle is Connor Hasenauer. Boy, Connor might have had a jump on that ball. It looked like he was going to go after it, but he made the sure tackle on Lowry. It's going to be third down. That keeps the clock running. A minute clock should be running at 3rd and 9. Still should be running. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know why the clock has stopped.
Not a huge deal. Still time, but boy, that clock should be going right now, and it's going to start moving now. But 3rd and a half a yard. Looking left, throwing. It is caught. No, dropped at the 5, and now 4th down and a half a yard. Minute 3 to play in the second quarter. Gage Steinke going to run a play on? No, he will not. Coach Dvorak kind of figuring out what he wants to do here. On 4th down, I'm certain he's going to go for it, but he might take a timeout to think about how he's going to do it. 61 seconds to play in the second. A timeout taken. 4th and a half a yard at the Irish 10-yard line. In the second quarter, we're tied at 6. This timeout brought to you by Fortified Group in North Platte. Big fourth down and a half a yard from the Irish 10-yard line here. 61 seconds to play in the second quarter. Tied at 6 with Grand Island Central Catholic. And another timeout taken. Was the first one by St. Pat's or was it by GICC? I didn't see. If that's GICC, it's their last.
I think
it was their last.
I think so, but I think they may have been. I would guess that they were going to go with their big guy and just run Martinez there. And the Irish had basically goal line set up in there, and I think the coach saw how tight they were stacked in there. Maybe wasn't convinced they could move them out of that. They'll probably come back out, maybe do some. However, the Irish had 3 perimeter defenders over here on 2 receivers. I don't know if that was confusion or what, but they had pretty much everybody else stacked inside.
They'll get a second chance to look at this here. Gavin Nutter hobbled. He's playing on defense only right now. Jack Hess hobbled, not playing in this game at all after a couple what looked to be ankle injuries for the Irish team here. Minute 1 to play in the second quarter. Big fourth and a half a yard here. Martinez has not had much. 9 carries, 4 yards, and he starts with a shotgun, so he's about 5 yards back, 6 yards back when he catches this.
That's just what I was thinking. This is where you're in trouble, not having under center.
Fourth down and a half a yard. Low snap. He runs off the left side. He'll have the first down as he dives across the 10. He knew where the first down stick was, and he just kind of dove. He got 1.5. It'll move the chains. It'll be first and goal. But you don't give up a ton, so you make it first and about as long as it can be. 10 carries, 5 yards for Martinez. Now clock running, 53 seconds. They have no timeouts. Some confusion as Alberts comes back in. He was injured earlier. He's back in there for the Crusaders. First and goal at the 9. Martinez looking left, throwing, batted down at the line. Getting the hands up, I think 62, Brecken Erickson.
Yeah, nice job there. Everybody's congratulating him on the nice play. So good play there. And not maybe the worst thing that could happen. I think the worst thing that could happen for the Crusaders is, you catch it in the field of play, and
right.
then you're really limited with how many more plays you're going to get in there. Now you get maybe a chance to kind of regroup. But the Irish get a chance to regroup as well.
Alberts comes off. He's still a little hobbled, you can tell. Reed Martinez is back in the game, I believe, on the right side of that offensive line. Second and 9, second and goal from the 9. 41 seconds to play. Snap back to the quarterback, draw left side up the middle. He's down to the 5. Stop clock's going to keep running. 35 seconds. Have to hurry here. It'll be third and goal from the 5-yard line. This is where you like the experience of Martinez at least. I'm sure they know what to run. 28 seconds, third and goal from the 5. They get him set. 25 seconds. He races up. He'll go under center. He'll snap it. He'll run right, and he won't get much. He gets 1. Clock's running. 18 seconds. Clock still running. Coach is saying to spike it. It's third down. Now he's saying, no, don't do that. It's fourth down, Fourth and goal at the 5-yard line. 10 seconds. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. This will be the last play. 6, 5. Martinez, fourth and goal from the 5. He's throwing right side. It's knocked away. Incomplete. No flag. And the Irish will get a stop at the goal line. And I think Jackson Roberts on coverage out there on that far side.
Yep, that was a play where they let a little physical play go on. There's a little hand fighting maybe for the ball, and I think it's a close play, and they don't call it.
That is the end of our first half. It comes down to a dramatic fashion, but the Irish with a goal line stand here at the end of the first half. How about them apples, folks? 6-6 tie, just how we drew it up in this ball game. St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic all squared up at 6. Our halftime presented by the North Platte Catholic School Endowment. We will come back and get you a chat with Jenna Blakely from North Platte St. Pat's, and then we'll come back and get you halftime numbers here. Again, 6-6, our tie at the break on KODY. Welcome back on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. We are at the half here, North Platte St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic in a stalemate here at the break. A 6-6 tie. Your halftime presented by the North Platte Catholic Schools Endowment. It's 8:13 Central Time. You're listening to the voice of the Irish, KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM North Platte with K221 BW 106.1 FM in North Platte. CT Computer Services, just north of Walmart in North Platte, offers Tune-Up Tuesdays, where all in-shop services are half price. That's computer troubleshooters, technology solved. A 6-0 stalemate, an exciting finish there at the end of the first half, where Grand Island Central Catholic had a goal line pass on fourth down as seconds were dwindling away. Not end up, and there was a little contact, but no call, and ultimately went into the half with a 6-6 tie. It's really been two big plays. The Irish had a 55-yard pass on their first drive, second play offensively after forcing a 3-and-out. A 55-yard pass from Jack Hess to Will Moats to get on top 6-0. The extra point was blocked, and that's pretty key in this game. Then we had punts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more punts. We had a fumble lost on a pitch after Jack Hess went out. Alex Davies pitched a little wide of Will Moats on a quick pitch. GICC has had some opportunities, big ones. They've had a couple drives start in Irish territory and didn't capitalize on either of them. The Irish haven't gotten a whole lot going. GICC did get a 62-yard drive that ended up being a touchdown run from 3 yards out by Russ Martinez. The big play in that was a catch and pass to Braden Wenzel. He had a step pass and just went all the way out on the near side and really went to the far side and went about 55 yards. And Martinez, a play later, capped it off to tie it 6-6. The key, though, after that was GICC got a penalty, a 15-yarder after the touchdown, made their extra point a 35-yarder, and they missed it. It was blocked. So ultimately, we're tied at 6-6. That's how we got here. And GICC with the longest drive of the game at the end there, a 9-play drive that went about 30 yards is all. Started at the Irish 35, took 9 plays, and stalled out on 4th and goal right at the end of the first half. What a first half of play here in this one. Let's get the numbers. They're brought to you by Condon Signs. Condon is North Platte's only locally owned full-service sign company, creating custom monument signs, pylon signs, commercial awnings, and they'll service your existing sign going into their 30th year business. Serving the North Platte area, visit them on the corner of 8th and Vine or at condonsigns.com. St. Pat's unofficially with 106 total yards, 51 on the ground, 55 through the air, 16 rushing totes today, led by Jackson Roberts, who has 8 carries, 58 yards. He had one big one of about 42 yards. You have Gavin Nutter with 2 for 4, Jack Hess 2 for a loss of 12, Alex Davies 3 for a loss of 4, and Will Moats with 1 carry for 5 yards. Hess through the air 1 for 2, 55 yards. Alex Davies 1 for 1 yard in the quarterbacking duties. Both completions going to Moats for 56 yards, 1 turnover, 3 first downs, 2 penalties, 15 yards for the Irish. Meanwhile, for Grand Island Central Catholic, they have 139 total yards, 20 carries, 31 rushing yards. It has not been much on the ground almost all through the air. Martinez, 12 carries, 9 yards, and a touchdown. Brayton Johnson, 7 carries, 22 yards, and also had Wenzel with a carry for 6. No yards. 7 for 13 is Martinez in this game for 108 total passing yards. 3 completions to Lowry for 24, 3 to Wenzel for 76, and 1 to Charles Armstrong for 7. No turnovers for Grand Island Central Catholic. That's pretty big in this game. First downs, 5 penalties for 50 yards. That's been costly for GICC. And again, your score, 6-6. We're tied at the break here. Those again your numbers brought to you by Condon Signs. We'll take another break. Come back with more halftime presented by the North Platte Catholic Schools Endowment after this. Back here on KODY, 1240 AM, 106.1 FM, 6-6 tie, North Platte St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic here at the break, all evened up after one half. And gotta imagine a whale of a second half coming up here on KODY. North Platte St. Pat's has come out of the locker room, starting their warm-ups. Of course, banged up with Javin Nutter. He's warming up. He looks all right. He's not 100%, but he's out there. Jack Hess not warming up, and he has a limp as he comes out of the locker room. So I think his day is done. And I think the Irish probably thinking, you've got a monster district game next week with Bridgeport on the road, who looks to be the real deal. They're 3-0 going into tonight, and they had... I'm not sure who they played here tonight, but that'll be a big game coming up next week, and maybe thinking we've got to have them for that one for sure since it's a district game. Let's take a check into the Nebraska Land National Bank Sports Desk to check out area scores. Nebraska Land National Bank, community-minded just like you. North Platte picks up a 35-21 victory at Lincoln North Star today. So they improved to 3-0 on the season. Hershey tonight, they are in Minden tonight, and at the half trailing Minden 23-0 in the halftime break there. Other teams in area that are going on, Chase County's at Mitchell. That's a tough matchup, 0-3 against 3-0. Mitchell having a good start to the season. Irish will see Chase County in a couple weeks here at home. Gordon Rushville's 0-3. They're taking on Benny County, South Dakota. Irish will see them after Chase County. And, of course, they'll finish the season up with Valentine, who had their game canceled. Again, this is the second of their two games that were canceled due to their COVID-19 exposure. Quite a few games canceled due to COVID-19. Both Kearney teams aren't playing. Kearney and Kearney Catholic. Kearney Catholic was set to go to Ogallala. That was nixed. Wilbur Claytonia, Sandy Creek out. UTAN BRLD out. Norfolk Catholic Oak and Craig out. Crete Lexington out. There's a lot of games that were canceled this week due to the coronavirus exposure. Now, some of those teams did find opponents in the meantime, but quite a few originally scheduled games have been nixed. I'm just glad we're getting this one in. Here at the half, 6-6 tie, St. Pat's and Grand Island Central Catholic. The Irish will get the ball to start the second half. We'll come back with it after this. Here we get ready for the start of the second half. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley back with you here from Knights of Columbus Field. 6-6 tie. Second half getting underway here in just a moment. Irish will receive the kick from the Crusaders to start up the second half. It's pitch black to start up our second half outside. Beautiful night for football. Bill O'Malley, boy, not exactly the way we thought that first half would go, but all in all, a 6-6 evened out tie. A little hobbled, but right now, you're not in the worst spot in the world if you're an Irish fan, and probably the same if you're a GICC fan.
A little confusion out on the field. This will be the second time that Will Moats and Jackson Roberts, the Irish returners, have run the length of the field. They were lined up on the west, went to the east. Now they're telling back around the other way. So this is a real opportunity here with those two guys back there to maybe get some good field position and put us in a position to score.
Albert's not doing the kicking duties now. He was a little banged up, so he's not kicking. It's a 70 number. There's only 3 of them. I'm not sure which one it is, but he's teeing it up at the 40. We'll see how he handles this. 76 is doing the duties. That's Jacob Stegman, a 6'1", 155-pound sophomore. So Jackson Roberts, Will Moats back deep. This might be some of your best opportunities right here on kickoff return for the Irish. They get something to get a little momentum. Kick by Stegman, end over end. Boy, it's a booming kick. Roberts going to let it go into the end zone. Holy cow. Wow, Stegman might have won the job right there. That was a heck of a kick. Yeah, a little wind behind it, but he booted that one through the end zone.
I believe Jacob Stegman is probably the nephew of St. Patrick's supporter Deb Tinas. I think that's probably her nephew. So really a good kick there by him.
She's probably a little split on that play then, because that was a heck of a kick. Irish will start at the 20-yard line again. Oh, they're going to be without Jack Hess, it looks like, for the rest of the ball game. He's not even with the team right now. He's still trying to, I'm sure he's lobbying to try to get into this game. He's trying to walk it off, but hasn't looked real good. He's not taken any considerable steps to run or anything. He's just walking it, and Irish going to stick with Alex Davies under center in the backfield. Gavin Nutter, Will Moats, Jackson Roberts for the green and gold from their own 20-yard line. Middle back in motion, right, left to right. They'll give it deep back. Gavin Nutter, no, that's Jackson Roberts, excuse me. Hits a wall, but he falls forward for a yard. There's a flag in the backfield as well. This might be on that movement that the Irish had in the middle of the power I, and it will be. Legal shift. Third penalty.
2 guys in motion there. They had the guy shifting, and then somebody must have come out of their stance a little bit.
Third penalty for the Irish, so they've cleaned that up. They had 13 last week, 20 yards, but even a 5-yard penalty is
I don't know
a rough
how much
one for the Irish.
I don't know how much that Gavin Nutter is going to be able to be out there. He's really trying to tough it out, but he's just pretty immobile.
Yeah, I don't know if he is. I don't think I think coaches, he's been playing defense, and I think they're probably going to tell you we need you more out there, but he's coming off now as they go to the strict I formation. He might be the up back yet. 1st and 15. They'll sweep right side forward. Roberts gets to the outside. Roberts, but flushed out further, and really nice open field tackle by GICC's, I think, Tanner Turek. Loss of 1, 2nd and 16.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an example of that. I think Gavin was out in front of Jackson and just couldn't get there to make the block. And, I think it was evident that he's not moving really well there.
So 2nd and 15 here for the Irish offense. 2nd and 16, I should say, back inside their own 20-yard line. 11:08, third quarter, tied at 6 here. Roberts dots the I, second ball in the near hash. He'll give a counter left side for Roberts. Roberts gets a big block, 20. Roberts to the outside, 25, to the 30. He's got a first down, 35, down the sideline, 40. Roberts breaks another one. Foot race, number 8 is gone. Goodbye, and holy cow! Man, woman, and child, I'm busting out the Lyle Bremser on that one. 85 yards for the freshman. Holy cow!
What a game breaker that was. Got a really nice block right there at the point of attack, and then did a lot of work on his own once he got to the perimeter.
Good night, Irish fans. You have got a gamer in Jackson Roberts. That might be the play of the year already, and it might be by the end of the year. Wow.
I think it was the Crusaders speedster Herbeck that got over there and had a really great chance to tackle him, just couldn't get him on the ground.
85-yarder, no flags. Roberts makes it 13-6, and the extra point from Alex Davies makes it 13-6, I should say. And Irish, holy cow, a 2-play, 80-yard drive, lead 13-6. 10:48 to go in the second quarter. We're back to Knights of Columbus Field right after this. If you're looking for your Swift Auto Center play of the game, we've got it. Jackson Roberts, 85-yard touchdown run. Yeah, I got a few comments on that. That was a fun one right there. 85-yard run. Roberts now to 144 on the ground as he has his third rushing touchdown of the year, and he puts the Irish up 13-6. Kickoff duties here. Will Moats doing it. He'll pooch it out of bounds. I don't think he meant to do that, but he's going to go out of bounds. He was going into the wind, a little bit of wind here. Boy, talk about freshmen making a play. You saw another freshman make a play.
Yeah, it was Brecken Erickson that really sprung Jackson at the point of attack. And then, of course, once Jackson got to the perimeter, he fought off another couple defenders, to his credit. But Brecken Erickson really set the offensive edge there, just really stonewalled the contained man for the Crusaders and allowed Jackson a really wide path to get to the sideline.
So, GICC decision time. They can re-kick or they can take the ball. What would be 35-yard line? And they will take the ball, looks like, at the 35. So there's the penalty, and out comes GICC at their own 35-yard line to start this drive here. It's not been a banner day for the Crusaders. Certainly the ground game has not been what they've wanted it today. 20 carries, 31 yards. Pistol set for Martinez. He'll give it up the middle, and he'll gain a yard or 2, maybe 3 yards before he's brought down. Nice play. Sam Scholes on the tackle for St. Pat's out there on the D line. Maybe Sawyer McGill, actually, in there as well. It'll be a gain of 3 for the back. I think that might have been Johnson. And second down and 7 coming up for the Crusader offense. It's just been tough sledding anywhere for the Crusaders on the ground.
Yeah, and we visited off air. I would expect them maybe to go more just to the pass game here and maybe come away from their balance a little bit.
Second and 7, ball on the ground. He picks it up. Martinez will pitch to the option, 40-yard line across the 45, and out of bounds goes Johnson with a first down run. He got about 8, needed 7. Gavin Nutter hobbling, pushing him out of bounds, but a first down run for Brayton Johnson, one of his best of the day. 9 carries, 33 yards. First down, Crusaders up to their own 47.
Yeah, I think that's their best maybe speed option since the first drive of the game when they had one go for a nice gain. The Irish just didn't get enough personnel out there wide, and so Martinez was able to keep the ball a little bit longer and get the pitch really wide and give the Irish some problem.
Josh Davies coming on. He'll switch with Alex Davies in linebacking spot. First and 10, Crusaders at their own 47. Little option play for Martinez this time. He cuts up in the middle 50. He's inside the Irish territory to the 45, but a flag comes in. It's a gain of 7. Not a good spot for the Crusaders, though. Yeah, it's right. A hold. It's coming back. This is going to be a costly one because it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Right at the point of attack, and it looked like on the previous play, maybe Justin Schroll on the edge on this side was having a little trouble getting away from a guy as he tried to move laterally. But that's one of those things. It's difficult. They're not going to call it unless they can clearly see that the offensive player's got his hands outside and impeding his progress.
Jackson's run did that warrant a man, woman, and child?
Well, I think that was just fine. That was just fine.
I mean, I gave credit to where credit is due.
It warranted a back slapping. I gave Matt a good one of those.
So ultimately, 12 yards it goes backwards to the 35 after the penalty. Crusaders, 6 penalties, 60 yards, and they've got first and 22 of their own 35. 2 split to the far side, 1 to the near side, a wing back right as well. Pistol set Martinez, an option play. Martinez out to the flat. Now he'll pitch late, and the back runs into his own player. Then he gets thrown back. No gain. Loss of 1 maybe. Really nice play. Out there, Trayton White. Joe Heinrich slapping him on the helmet. Alex Davies was there to help finishing him off. Second down and 22.
That was really nicely stretched out for as much as the Crusaders had the Irish outflanked on the previous speed option coming this way. The Irish really flooded that side and did a nice job.
9:30 to play in our third quarter. St. Pat's up 13-6. HD Management's ready to put their half a century of experience to work for you. Whether it's farm and ranch management, ag appraisals, or ag real estate sales, see Kurt Pieper, Hank Nicely, or Justin Pieper at HD Management in North Platte. Second and 22 at their own 35. Trips near side for Martinez. Sends it back out in the flat, out in motion. He'll catch the pass, get a nice block, 35 down the sideline, 40. Lifts another tackle, 50. Now it's a foot race. Steinke tackled by Justin Schroll, but really nice play. Needed to be one man, and he did. Engage Steinke with a big, big play. A first down on second and 22.
Yeah, and that's the second play of that type that they've got. They ran more of just a spot pass. That time it was a little more of, maybe kind of a sprint out of the motion man, and they really had the Irish outnumbered there. There were 3 guys on the perimeter, and they brought a 4th guy in motion, and wasn't really accounted for.
27-yard gain to Steinke, and a first down to the Irish 38-yard line. Clock at 9 minutes to play in the third. Irish up 13-6. Quarterback draw left side for Martinez. He's to the sideline, runs over the defender, but he holds on to the 31-yard line. Tackle on the play, Josh Davies, after the gain of 7 from Martinez. That is his best carry. He's got 14 carries for 14 yards with that. 2nd and 3.
Yeah, good physical tackle there on the part of Josh Davies. That's a tough matchup when you got Martinez coming at you.
2nd and 3, 8:35, third quarter, 13-6 Irish here. Missing Jack Hess at safety. Gavin Nutter gutting it out, although I don't think he's in the game right now, and he might not be playing a whole lot of this one. Connor Hasenauer defending out on the far side against Lowry. 2nd and 3, quarterback draw right side this time Martinez. He'll lower the shoulder. He'll get ushered down to the ground at the 27, but he'll pick up a first down carry on the stop for St. Pat's Sawyer McGill. As they untangle, it is a first down.
Tanner Turek came off over here, kind of a key guy up front for the Crusaders. A little shaken up.
Both sides have been banged up today. We've seen Turek banged up. We've seen Reed Martinez. Ben Albert's banged up. Of course, the Irish have lost 2 starters, really, in this game, and 2 huge ones offensively and pretty much defensively. 8 minutes to play third quarter. These 2 teams play a lot both ways. 2 split to the far side for Martinez. Ball at the Irish 27. Snap back. He'll draw it left side. He goes up the middle to the 25 where he hits a wall. Gain of 2. Boy, it looked like he busted to the outside. He had some room to run.
I think that was a break for the Irish. If he bounces that outside, I think then they're just chasing him.
Martinez, 16 carries, 20 yards. He has had to earn every bit. Through the air, though, more effective. 8 of 14, 135 yards. Clock 7.5 to go in our third quarter. Irish scoring on an 85-yard touchdown run from Jackson Roberts to start this third quarter. An 8th play of this drive coming up for the Crusaders. They'll send out Lowry to the far side. Herbeck on the near side along with Armstrong. Snap back. Martinez will give it. Johnson nowhere. Bear hugged and eventually thrown back. Trayton White. What a big-time play by number 70. A loss of 5.
What a huge play. That's the play the Irish needed. They needed a negative yardage play and get them in shape here. Now I think you got to watch for some kind of a perimeter pass. You said the number of yards that Martinez has thrown for, but I think maybe two of the 3 biggest plays were passes behind the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
They've had a lot of success with that.
Third down and 13 at the Irish 30 here. Down 7, 6:40 to go in the third quarter. 1 for 1 here in the second half. He's ran. This is the 9th play. Only 1 pass so far. Snap back to Martinez. He'll give the handoff. Johnson again, and he's bear hugged again. Trayton White makes the exact same play. It's a loss of another 5.
Yeah, they're going to maybe want to start running away from Trayton White. They're having a hard time. They're having a hard time blocking him there, and so a really big play on Trayton's part. I still wouldn't be surprised to see him go with that some kind of a swing pass at a motion, just because you're in a situation here. It's hard to throw downfield when that appears to be what you have to do.
Well, that was a loss of 7. That's 12 yards by Trayton White lost defensively. It's 4th and 20. Going for it at the Irish 37-yard line here. Trips to the near side. Lowry split out to the far side by himself. Snap back to Martinez. He'll pump fake. Now will go Lowry's way. One-on-one. Throws it deep. Incomplete on the fingertips of Lowry. Boy, Martinez has got a beautiful arm. And he laid that one pretty darn good. Lowry ran underneath it. Just couldn't quite get to it. And a turnover on downs. The Irish escaped that one. He'll get the ball back. 5:39 to go in the third.
Lowry with just maybe a step on Connor Hasenauer, but technique-wise, Connor was right on the money there. He got inside him and ran with him. Lowry was eventually able to get a little bit of separation, but a really nice job on Connor's part. And maybe a ball that Lowry could have caught. It would have been a difficult catch. It was right at his tips.
It was right at the tips there. And a 10-play drive that stalls out at the 37 took about 5 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. Irish take over at their own 37-yard line. Alex Davies, quarterback duting here on a first down and 10. He'll turn, he'll give it up the middle. It's Nutter, nothing. I think Irish just trying to take advantage of all the attention Jackson Roberts is getting. And a quick pitch dive, nothing doing for Gavin. That's only his third carry of the game, and he has 5 yards to show for him.
Well, I think you got to run pitch trap or some sort of counter thing to what you're doing with Jackson Roberts on the perimeter. Otherwise, everybody's running with him. That's fairly obvious. Going back to the previous defensive stop, I think if that ends up being the difference maker in the game, you're going to say Trayton White made a couple of huge plays that put the Irish in shape to stop that drive.
2nd and 9, sweep right side, quick pitch right side for Roberts, and chase from behind, but he drags him 40. He's still moving to the 43, to the 44-yard line. Boy, he could have been brought down at the 40, but Roberts got about 6 or 7 yards, and there's the physical run from the freshman.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason he got a couple of yards on the end there is they were trying to rip the ball loose, and as he fell forward, he did lose it just temporarily, but he's got big, strong hands, and he was able to scoop it back in.
It's hard to not have a smile on your face when he runs the ball, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, everybody leans forward a little bit. You think something could happen here. We better watch.
3rd down and 3, up at the 43-yard line, 44. It gives him a chance here. Under 4:30 to play in the third quarter. Split back this time. It's Davies on a quarterback keeper. Gets to the outside. He's got a first down into Crusader territory, and he about tripped down as he took off. He fought through that and got the first.
He ran the old possum play there. I'm down. I'm not doing anything. Then he took off. I think it was supposed to maybe just be veer,
we'll go
and he did the best he could. He wasn't going to be able to make an exchange there, and they kind of I think the Crusader front kind of let up a little bit. He took off, and of course we know from previous games this year, when he gets in the open field, he's pretty hard to bring down.
12-yard gain when it looked like he was going nowhere. Down into the Crusader 44-yard line. 5th first down is all for the green and gold. 3:50 to play in the third quarter. Davies, sweep left side for Roberts. Jackson drops the ball, picks it back up, gets what he can to the outside, near side now, and he's going to get some positive gain out of it. He got 3 yards. That was heart attack. Then it was, holy cow, he might be a player away from busting this, and he hits 3.
You get spoiled. You think every play could be something huge. When he picked it up and countered back away from the play side, he got a couple steps. I thought, oh my, something. Well, he's not going to go the distance on every play, but you always feel like there might be a chance.
I didn't smile on that one for what it's worth. 2nd and 7 at the Crusader 41. 3:15 third quarter. Irish up a score with the ball. Handoff right side. Roberts at the 40. Lost the ball, and Crusaders are right there to dive on it, it looks like. Popped out as he got the hit, and no signal, but on the ball will be Grand Island Central Catholic's Gage Steinke. There is a flag on the play, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. They're going to wave the flag off, and it will be Crusader ball at their own 39-yard line. So freshman makes a mistake, but a rare one so far from him.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot there, and just the ball popped out. But for what it's worth, the Irish in the course of that possession were able to turn the field around to some degree and put themselves in a pretty good position.
Did the flag just fall out?
Well, I'm not for sure, Tanner, on that. It could have been such a thing that I'm not for sure that you can decline a penalty on a change of possession as the defensive team. I think is probably the situation. So it's not worth. Well, you're not really declining it. So
sure. Okay.
It just takes it away, I think.
That's why I have you here. 1st and 10 at the 39 for the Crusaders. 2nd turnover for the Irish. Played a big factor in the 2 games they've played against Grand Island Central Catholic in their history. 2 split to the far side, Martinez. Little option play to the right side, far side. He'll pitch now. Out on the edges, Johnson, 40-45. He's up to the 47-yard line. It's kind of 7 yards or nothing, really, for Grand Island Central Catholic. That one worked well. They get 7, 2nd and 3. Johnson has 13 carries, 28 yards.
Yeah, and that play really was made by Lowry out there on the perimeter. On the interior, the guys did a pretty good job, Trayton and Alex, of forcing it wide and making the quarterback give it up. But the Irish are having a little trouble getting off a block over there on the perimeter.
2nd and 3 from their own 46 this time for the Crusaders. Down a score here on the road at St. Pat's. Option left side this time for Martinez. He'll keep it. He'll get 2, but he's short. Good job by the Irish there. Looked like Martinez made a beeline to just take it that time. He wasn't going to pitch it, and coming in for St. Pat's was Joe Heirigs and Justin Schroll to take away the first down. He got 2, but 3rd and 1.
Yeah, nice job there. Good recovery because that was kind of a well-designed play by GICC. They had an extra blocker over here that they'd motioned across and got to the perimeter, and they did a nice job of getting it stopped where they did.
3rd down and 1 here from their own 49-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Quarterback draw. Martinez slips one right away, and he's got a first down up the middle inside the Irish 45. Boy, a player was there to make the stop, and he went right by him.
Yeah, I think Sawyer McGill did a nice job of shooting in a gap there and just didn't quite have his eyes up to be able to see the ball. He ran, I don't know if he knows that he ran straight past the ball. He was really being aggressive there, but just wasn't able to find Martinez.
Our scoreboard brought to you by Sandhill State Bank, your financial partner in the Sandhills and the most committed brand in banking. Find them online at sandhillstate.com or stop in at 803 South Dewey in North Platte. $1:40 to play, 3rd quarter, 13-6. St. Pat's with the lead, but GICC with a first down in Irish territory. Martinez in the pistol. Snap back. He'll run the option play of his own read. Nothing doing. Irish right there to stonewall him. They just kind of kept both running back and quarterback side by side. Brecken Erickson in there on the stop. Justin Schroll's had a big day. And Sawyer McGilding in there, 2nd and 10.
That's a good job by Sawyer coming from the inside out from his tackle spot, getting clear out there and being a part of that tackle. Really nice job.
Are you surprised by the change of play here? 1 pass in 14 plays here in the second half for GICC.
That was on the 4th and long. Well, 1 completion.
Correct.
Yeah, right. That was on the swing pass, yep.
2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line here for GICC. Back to throw is Martinez. He'll throw near sideline this time. It's caught, and it's inside the 35, right at the stick. As catching it is Isaac Herbick, who has been just a heartbreaker for the Irish. He gets 10, and he gets have they given him a signal for the first down? They have not yet. Not moved the change, but he's right at 10 yards. Might have to measure this. It's all the way across the field at the 31-yard line. Now they move the sticks. 33, I should say. They do move it. So Herbick gets his first catch of the game. And, of course, heartbreaker 2 years ago in the game winner. Last year had a 99-yarder to start the game. And we've got lights on in the east end zone. That doesn't happen too often here at Knights of Columbus.
No, it doesn't. Those cars are there pretty early. They're usually not running, so they don't have their lights on.
49 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Lights still on. Jackson Braithwaite, he got told, you run down there and tell them to turn their lights off. Jackson is sprinting. 2nd straight game, JB's gotten a shout-out on the broadcast. By the way, while I've got a moment, I got to give a shout-out to my youngsters. They're listening, from what I'm told, or watching, one of the two. Skylar and Harper, first time they've ever been interested in Irish football. I love it. I hope they're still interested. 1st and 10 at the Irish 32. Martinez in the gun. Snap back, looks to throw left this time, looking for Herbick. Now he's throwing right deep. Enzo got a man, but closing as a defender. Is it picked up by the Irish? Coming over with the INT for the green and gold is Joseph Heirigs. What a play by 13.
Oh, man, what a catch that was. He came a long way while that ball was in the air, and he came down flush on his back.
He might have his wind caught out of him.
Yeah, I hope it's that. And, sometimes when you go down like that, you come down kind of the back of your helmet a little bit, so hopefully it's just his wind.
He got up, and then he's like, I need some help, guys. I need some help getting off the field, so we'll keep an eye on 13. What a big play, though. Martinez aired that one out a little bit too much, and a first turnover gives it back to the Irish at their own 10-yard line.
And Joe really had to wrestle for that, because who was the receiver there? I didn't catch who it was either. It's been Lowry most of the time on that side, so we'll say it probably was him, but Joseph really had to wrestle it away. There was almost dual possession for a real brief time there.
1st and 10 at their own 10. This time it's Roberts up the left side, across the 10. Jackson fighting for more across the 15. A gain of 6. And one thing you kind of get the feeling Irish may be a little winded, but you got to feel like Grand Island Central Catholic is getting winded as well. Irish have been running just as much. Jackson already with 14 carries, a career day for him, 162 yards after gaining 6.
Yeah, and I think the rosters are just virtually the same size. So I mean, you're really dealing with, and we're on the Crusader sideline. There aren't a lot of guys running on and off the field that change a possession. So they're in the same situation the Irish are. A lot of guys are out there every play.
And we're going to go to the fourth quarter here at Knights of Columbus Field. We have a ball game, 13-6. St. Pat's with the lead. We head to the fourth quarter. Come on back for it right after this on KODY. Paza-Palooza is North Platte's only doggy daycare. Happy place. Let's go to the fourth quarter, Bill O'Malley. What a ball game. 13-6, St. Pat's with the lead. They have the ball, 2nd and 4 from their own 16-yard line. Jackson Roberts, 14 carries, 162 yards. Irish playing well. Their starting quarterback and safety. Out with the game is Jack Hess. Gavin Nutter's been hobbled. He's been very limited in what he has done. Starting running back and linebacker. Alex Davies is taking over the quarterbacking duties. Jackson Roberts is taking over the running back duties. And this is where we're at.
Yeah, it's kind of bubble gum and baling wire, but they're doing a good job of sticking in there.
2nd and 4, and Nutter does get a carry. He gets 1, maybe 2, sets up 3rd down and short. So Gavin getting some carries here. His only 4th carry. He splits what they needed. 3rd down and 2 upcoming.
Yeah, you really do have to credit this Irish group being without a couple of really key guys, and more so than that, it's never more evident than when they first go out, because you just haven't run repetitions this way, and you're putting different guys in different spots, and they've done really an admirable job.
Got to think Crusaders are thinking number 8 here. 3rd down and 2 from their own 16-yard line here. Man comes in motion. That's Hyriggs. They'll swip quick pitch right side for Nutter. Gavin cuts inside. He won't get it. He got right back maybe a half a yard, and I like the play call there. I thought that was something that might catch them off guard and take the eyes away from look at number 8, but just didn't get much out there, and it'll set up 4th down and 2, and the Irish are going to have to punt.
Yeah, so you'd like to have been able to at least get a 1st down or 2 and kind of improve your spot there, but they took care of it. You maintain possession, get it punted away, and see if you can get another stop.
You mentioned Tegan Soneman may have been limping earlier. Alex Davies punting again, back at his own 8-yard line. He'll run up. He'll get a punt, but it's blocked. It's going to take a really good, still get a good hop. It's going to be caught at the 48 off a hop. Braden Wenzel 40 to 35. Braden Wenzel still running. He's down to the 33-yard line. Alex maybe kind of ran into that block just a little too tight. And ultimately a good decision by the returner to pick it up. And GICC has got excellent field position to try to tie this game.
Well, and they had the rugby punt on there, but he just hung on to the ball too long.
So ball at the 33-yard line of St. Pat's is where GICC will take over. The youngsters didn't hear it. Skylar and Harper, hi. Your bedtime's coming up, but you can listen to the end of this one.
This is a good one.
This is a good one. Now, I'm not sure they'd know the difference between this and a 55-0, but yes, we'll say it. At the 33 comes out Martinez with his offense after the Irish go 3 and out. Best field position to start a drive for the Crusaders today. Martinez, 9 of 17 right now through the air. He's in a pistol set. He'll turn. He'll keep it himself. Now he'll run, try to get away. Not much. Now he's nothing doing, actually, on the stop. Number 62, Brecken Erickson, right there, making a nice play. It's kind of a triple option there.
It is, yeah. You've got kind of a true triple option there, and Martinez of late has really opted to keep the ball more, and that may well be the way he's coached too. I mean, he's kind of your top guy, and you're in crunch time now, and they're going to see if if we can keep tackling him. And Brecken did an outstanding job right there.
He's got to be feeling it too, though. 20 carries for 29 yards. 2nd and 11 after he lost one. Back into his own 34. This time he'll keep it again to the outside. Now he'll pitch deep out there. And slipping down is the running back at the 38. That's going to be a big loss of 4 or 5. That one just got really deep. The back, Johnson, that was a deep pitch. And boy, he had to outrun some players to get anything. He lost 4 or 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, well, Trayton White just had so much penetration there. He got so deep, forced Martinez deep. Then the pitch goes deeper. Now you got Alex Davies coming from the inside out. He was able to beat him out the sideline. The guy had to try to cut back.
3rd down and 15 for the Crusader offense from the Irish 38. Snap back, looking left. This time a pump fake. Martinez looking to run. Steps up into the pocket. Can't get away. Now he does. He keeps running around. Now he comes back to the near side, 45. He'll throw late. He's going end zone. He's got a man standing there for a touchdown. Wenzel had leaked away, and you've got to give Martinez the credit for that, because he just danced and danced and danced around in the backfield, and he finds Wenzel open in the end zone, just waiting for that for a touchdown.
Yeah, real playground play there. That was just a lot of athleticism on the part of Martinez. The only thing I was hoping is maybe a lineman leaked out, because it looked like Martinez was going to maybe take off running, but as the pass went in, I didn't really see anybody that was obviously downfield.
What a play by Russ Martinez there to set up Wenzel. The extra point to tie it is up and in, and we are squared up. 8:57 to go in the ball game at Knights of Columbus Field. A 3-play, 33-yard drive and a touchdown makes it GICC St. Pat's tied at 13. Welcome back on KODY 1240 AM, 106.1 FM. A 38-yard touchdown pass from Russ Martinez to Braden Wenzel, whose 2nd touchdown reception of the year. He's hurt the Irish 114 receiving yards on 4 catches. Martinez through the air, 10 of 18, 184 yards, and now a score. And he ties it up 13-13 here, with 8:57 to go in the ball game. And the kickoff from the 40 into the wind, end over end. It's going to be catchable for Will Moats. 20-yard line, 25. Will at the 30. Will to the 35. Will at 4. He's down 40. He gets a jersey, held him up, and he's at midfield. Really nice return by Will Moats. Right at midfield, and the Irish have excellent field position again. Another excellent return by number 21. He's done a good job in the back returning, over 20 yards per return.
I think Jackson Roberts thought he hold on the Irish and a horse collar on the Crusaders, so they're going to replay the whole thing.
Boy, now they're going to bring Coach Shavorks and bring his group over. I got to imagine he's going to discuss what to do here. 20-13 the score. We have you got to put the time back on, right? Do you?
I don't know that they do that. I think that would be prudent, but I don't know that they do that. I think, they do that in places where they have a record of what and maybe we do, I don't know, but I'm not sure.
Minute 3, I can be your record.
Well, the guys down here, you can say what you want. No, I'm not for sure. I don't think you generally see that in high school football.
Alberts will tee it up at the 40 again. All right, Will Moats, Jackson Roberts back deep, 55 seconds to go. Irish have 1 timeout remaining, trailing 20-13.
I'm going to say it again. I'd be shocked if they kick it deep, but they may. I mean, they saw what happened there. The horse collar, I think part of the reason we didn't see it is the flag was sitting under the ball over there on the far side.
Both fans have gotten into this ball game all of a sudden. Where you guys been? It's been a dandy. We were starting to really hear him now. It's actually Stegman doing the kicking duties. I saw 7, but I saw 6, excuse me, but it was a 76. He'll approach it at the 40. Roberts, Moats back at their own 15. Stegman now ready to go. He's got a good leg, kicking a little into the wind here. He'll pooch it. It's going to come to the near side. Moats is going to pick it up at the 20-yard line, trying to get to a wall on the far side. Will needs a couple blocks, trying to get to the far edge, and he's going to be tackled at the 23. Just too far to go on that far side, and the Irish will have 48 seconds to work to try to go 77 yards to try to come back and tie this ball game up. Down 20-13.
Yeah, good kick there by Stegman. Just kind of kicked it into a dead area and allowed his guys to get down there and cover.
He's getting a big high five from his coach.
There was no way for Will to return it to the near side. He had to try to outrun somebody, and I think it was worth taking a shot.
Yeah.
You got a broken field, and the fast guy, give him a shot.
There wasn't anything on this side. So at the 23, out comes the Irish offense without Jack Hess, your normal passer, with 48 seconds to go. Under center is Alex Davies. Davies will look to throw it, incomplete. Little counter pass, and he didn't have time. He was looking for Roberts and maybe Joe Hyriggs deep, but Alex didn't have any time to get that one off. He just threw it pretty much away. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, they had Jackson split out on the sideline. I think they're just saying we're going to put our fast guy out there and see if we can throw it up and create a flag or maybe a completion.
45 seconds, not much ran off at the 24-yard line. 20-13, Irish trailing Grand Island Central Catholic. Irish need some late game heroics here. Hyriggs split out to the near side. Davies under center with an I formation behind him. He'll five-step drop, look to throw, steps up into the pocket. He's going to air it up down the near sideline, intended for Roberts, incomplete. Maybe a little wheel route, it wasn't there.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. They had Joseph Hyriggs split out here on the near side, and Jackson Roberts was in the wing, and they did just that. They kind of wheeled him and tried to get defenders drug across to the middle and throw it up the sideline, just kind of off the mark.
You have a timeout. Is there any consideration to run with 39 seconds to go? I mean, obviously it's 3rd and 10, and got to think Crusaders are thinking pass.
Right. No, I don't think that's out of the question with a timeout remaining, and maybe you give yourself a couple more downs by virtue of that. It's hard to. They might have to take it now. They're a little slow getting the play in. Hopefully they can get up there.
3rd down and 10. They'll split out Moats to the far side. Split back behind Davies. Haven't seen. Now it's starting to move. Panda's up. Davies gets under center. Starting to tick off now. He's got to get it snapped. He will. 5-step drops for Alex. He steps up. Pressure. Eludes it. He'll throw. Airs it. Jump ball down the sideline. Caught at the 40. They say caught at the 40. Somehow. Timeout. Well, I don't know if the Irish have taken it, though, but it's caught. I think it's Hyriggs.
I think it was Will.
Will Moats? Okay, it was Will Moats. All the way to the 40. 32 seconds to go. Irish going to get up there to snap it now on a huge completion. He'll put it down. Clock will start to run at 32 seconds. Davies gets him set, and he'll get under center. He'll clock it. Well, I don't know if he got the ball. He might have fumbled. Crusaders are on it, and it's GICC ball. That's it. Coach Alex Davies and the Irish trying to say he did clock it. Boy, there's no way of knowing up here. I mean, it did look like he definitely was underneath, or was under there, but
I think he was trying to clock it before he actually got a hold of it, so then it just becomes, when do you think he lost control of the ball?
Right. And at that point, I'm not sure an official has really any idea what happened.
Pretty hard. But the ball never came up, I don't think, as high as his shoulders even. And I don't know actually, I don't know frankly what exactly the ruling is on that. I mean, do you have to step away from center and then chop the ball down? I don't know if you can really go from just under center and throw it down.
Victory formation for the Crusaders and still don't go under center. That's got to hurt the stats. And before the snap, we have a flag. But it's victory. All you got to do is pretty much snap it twice. Irish have one timeout. And
I'm not for sure what the flag is there because they're snapping it deep. And I mean, if the quarterback's under center and you continue after the snap, it's different. But on a long snap, anyway, I think they're calling the Irish being too aggressive up front, maybe. I'm not for sure.
Offsides? I mean,
I don't know. I think they're saying. I think they're gonna. Sorry. I think they're gonna maybe call a personal foul. I don't know what they're going to call for sure, if they thought he fired off too aggressively or what.
No flag.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what. I think that's what they thought, is that there was some action after the snap, but where it's a deep snap, it's not dead until it gets back and the player kneels on it.
Right. Now they're back in their victory formation here for GICC. Martinez takes it, puts a knee down at the 34. And that will pretty much close. Irish are not going to take a timeout. That'll close this one out. GICC going to escape Knights of Columbus Field with a hard-fought 20-13 ball game winner. Irish won't take their last time out, and that will finish this one out. 20-13, your final. Grand Island Central Catholic gets the victory here on the road. We'll begin our Quick Stop postgame show after a timeout on Husker Radio. Welcome into our Quick Stop post-game show here on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM. We welcome the last viewers who have watched this on our YouTube channel for North Platte Catholic Schools. Tanner Struckman, Bill O'Malley, a whale of a ball game, and congrats to Grand Island Central Catholic. They played a good one here today. And admirable effort by the Irish, without a doubt. It wasn't a perfect game, but really, really good effort from the green and gold here. Short-handed, but they fall 20-13. Your post-game brought to you by Quick Stop, just around every corner. Fast, easy, and convenient with 6 locations throughout North Platte. Also locations in Ogallala, Hershey, Grant, and Imperial. On the road everywhere, it is Quick Stop. I'll welcome Coach up here in just a moment. And, Bill, your kind of gut reaction to this one, it's a tough one to swallow, because this one, again, like the other 2 games against GICC, felt like it was there. It was certainly within reach.
Yeah, the gut reaction is it's kind of a gut punch. You know, they made a play there at the end, and the Irish looked like they still had a chance. They were still out there battling, and as you said, I think really did an admirable job with having to make a lot of changes on the go. There were guys who were playing out of position on offense and guys who were playing out of position defensively, and really did a nice job. I thought, you know, the Crusaders really hadn't completed much down the field. They had a fair number of passing yards. Most of those were swing pass type receiver screens, and so really until there at the end, that was one of the first ones, and they got them just on a little bit of a hitch and go, and so obviously disappointing the way that it turned out. But I thought just really an admirable effort on the part of the Irish under, you know, little bit adverse circumstances with losing a couple kind of key guys and having to shuffle some personnel around.
How about the end of the first half and the end of the second half? I mean, just wild endings. First half ends with Grand Island Central Catholic running out the clock on 4th down and goal, incomplete. And then obviously GICC go down and score. Irish get a big, what ultimately was, I believe, a 37-yard completion to Will Moats, and then trying to get a spike and a fumble. And we were kind of talking off air there. I think that's probably the right call. When it's 50-50 even under there, it's probably going to be a fumble.
Yeah, and if you can't clearly tell that the ball is being spiked, and I don't know what happened there, but it looked like maybe just tried to make things happen too fast, and the exchange didn't go very well. And there are just all kinds of things. The Irish had a really on that scoring drive by the Crusaders. The Irish had really made a couple plays and put the Crusaders in a really tough spot, and then they really kind of a bang play out on the perimeter, and draws a flag to keep the drive alive, and eventually then that's the game-winning score. But they again done enough things to kind of give themselves a chance, and then it just comes down to one team or the other making that one extra play, and the Martinez to Herbeck throw and catch was kind of that one extra play.
Well, Irish will be happy when Russ Martinez is not a Crusader next year. He's been a thorn, and Herbeck's only a junior. I hate to tell you that. He's coming back next year, and he's a really good receiver, and he had the game winner 2 years ago as a freshman. Last year had a 99-yarder for a touchdown. This year he gets the 21-yard touchdown. That is the game winner for Grand Island Central Catholic. But what a ball game. Two teams I thought pretty even, and really with the injuries, both sides were banged up in this game, and Irish fought like all get out with a shortened team, and still had a chance to come up and win it. Now you got to regroup. 2-1. District starts next week already, and get ready, because you've got a team that's going into tonight was undefeated in Bridgeport, who looks the part.
Yeah, I think if you just score watch like we all do to some degree, I think you say they're maybe kind of the team to beat, and so we'll have our work cut out for us. But I think tonight's game's any indication, you'll see a team that has a lot of fight come out next week.
The big question mark will be injuries. Where's this team at a week from tonight? Obviously, starting quarterback, starting running back, and that catapults into starting linebacker and safety both out. That changes a lot of things for this Irish team.
And as we've said before, whatever injuries you have, they're never as difficult to deal with as they are right when they happen, because after that, then you have an opportunity to get people some repetitions where you're going to have them, and maybe shuffle the deck, and kids know what's happening going in. But I thought they did a really good job of adjusting on the fly tonight. Guys were having to move around and play a little bit out of position, and really did a nice job.
See you next week at Bridgeport.
All right, look forward to it.
Irish fall 20-13 on our Quick Stop post-game show. Here is get the stats and how we got to this point, and set you up then for next week when the Irish make a road trip out west to face the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Coach Brent Oftenkamp with us here on the post-game. Tough one.
It was, Tanner. We talked about the matchups, going in, that this was a really good offense. I thought our boys played really, really hard. Just with a young team, I don't know if we had enough moxie, to salt the win away when we had that lead. If we don't turn the ball over, if we don't get a blocked punt, just little mistakes make a difference. So,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot to digest in this game, because, you're not far into the ball game, and boom, you lose your starting running back and quarterback. And I mean, give Kevin credit; he hobbled through it as much as he could. He was certainly in pain playing out there, but that's going to kill a lot of teams with 29 kids out in C2 football, and it didn't today.
Well, it certainly towards the end there, we couldn't run some of our spread things, and we're looking at replacing 3 guys, and not just replacing them with a backup, but moving them out of position,
Exactly.
So it was kind of a Chinese fire drill going on, with no offense to any Chinese people listening, but certainly their fire drills were just fine, just to get that on the record. But we did our kids played so hard, and a lot of times you get these games where you're just battling, and you walk away with a kind of a mutual respect. Well, tonight I would like to win this one.
Yep, yeah. The Irish fall 20-13 again here at home to Grand Island Central Catholic, and 2-1. I mean, I know you probably can't tell me much about these injuries. Are they ankles? Do you have any idea on Jack and Gavin?
Yeah, their lower body. I don't know. You never know how they recover over the weekend, and they're both moving on it. Some, Gavin played much of the game afterwards until we felt bad, and he'd hobble around, and we'd come over and he'd look okay, and we'd get him in there a couple plays later. So I think they're lower leg injuries. I certainly hope they're not serious. Jack has come so far in just 2 years with us that you hope he's not injured, and I know if there's any way to play, those guys will be suited up next Friday.
It's a big one. District start.
It's huge, and Bridgeport's really good.
Right. Yeah, you very well could be going into your toughest district opponent in Bridgeport, at least by record. Came in undefeated going tonight. They return a lot from last year. I mean,
right.
I was looking at the schedule, the stats, and all the guys that made plays over the last couple of years are back.
Sure. No, and they've been kind of pointing to this, and that little boy we call the eel. We tell our kids if you reach for him, he's not going to be there. So we have to run into him, and he's played. I kind of forget his name now.
Fessler?
Yes, and he played quarterback, and now he's running back. And they have some really quality players, and it's going to be a chore going out there and a long road trip. So we're going to find out some character about what we have, because we have a lot of disappointed boys in the locker room right now. So
that's a game too. Out west has been a tough one. I mean, that has not been an easy game. There's been years where you felt like you had a pretty good edge, and it's been tighter than I know you wanted it to be.
Well, it seems like we've had traffic tickets and 3-hour rain delays, and anything. When we go to Bridgeport, there's always something that seems to happen. But it's going to be a challenge for us. But we travel a lot. We're not worried about that, and I think our kids grew up a lot tonight. We talked about having a test, and we needed a test to see where we were at, because this group, with only really 2 senior regulars and then a third that kind of rotates in, this is a work in progress, and I think our young kids are stepping up. And tonight we had to use them more than we probably would like to have, but they've earned the playing time too. So we want to play good teams right now, and certainly Bridgeport is that.
I do want to mention, obviously, Jackson Roberts with 170 some rushing yards. He had an 85-yarder that was a thing of beauty. Coach threw out a nice big plug to Brecken Erickson, who busted that play open. I mean, that was 2 freshmen that made a play against a pretty good senior group.
Yeah, no, I agree, and they're pretty special kids. Like I told you, after that Donovan game, we're working hard with Jackson, trying to get him those rough edges smoothed out. And Coach Braithwaite and I are going to take credit for him pretty much all the way through. But no, God had a lot more to do with that than any coaching. But no, they're pretty impressive kids. We like our freshman class in general. A lot of the kids that don't play, your James Hyrigs and your Thomas Gales, and these kids like football. Right. And they're not afraid to mix it up. So we're optimistic about the future, and we're optimistic about next week. We're going to play hard, and just we're going to play until somebody takes our ball away.
Should be a fun one next Friday in Bridgeport. Sure. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thanks, Tanner.
Coach Brent Offenkamp here on the Quick Stop Postgame Show. Irish fall 20-13. This game started out with a 3-and-out from Grand Island Central Catholic. St. Pat's scored 2 plays later on a 55-yard touchdown pass from Jack Hess to Will Moats. Led 6-0. Then trading punts back and forth. GICC scores with 5:07 to go finally in the second quarter on a 3-play drive, a 62-yard drive. One big play. There was a big passing play that prompted that along. Went into the halftime at 6. GICC, for what it's worth, had a play at the goal line that did not, a 4th and goal, as time ran out, that did not go for them. Irish started the second half with a bang, an 85-yard touchdown run from Jackson Roberts, which you'll hear here in just a few moments, that made it 13-6. They got the ball back twice as well, and at one point, late in the midway through the fourth quarter, had marched into GICC territory, but had to punt ultimately. And then GICC gets a 38-yard touchdown pass from Russ Martinez to Braden Wenzel. That tied it with 8:49 to go. A 12-play drive there that went about to almost 6 minutes, almost milked the entire rest of the way off. And a 21-yard touchdown pass from Russ Martinez to Isaac Herbick was the backbreaker. Really nice pump fake from Martinez. Got the defender to bite. And Herbick had a quiet night until until that last moment. Boy, he's a gamer, certainly, against North Platte St. Pat's. Numbers in this one are brought to you by Condon Signs. Condon's is North Platte's only locally owned full-service sign company, creating custom monument signs, pylon signs, commercial awnings, or fixing lighting issues in an existing sign. Condon's is ready to assist you, proudly serving the North Platte area for more than 25 years. Visit them on the corner of 8th and Vine or at condonsigns.com. St. Pat's unofficially with 284 yards, 191 on the ground, 93 through the air. Jackson Roberts, 17 carries, 176 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble lost. Alex Davies, 6 carries, 15 yards, 2 lost fumbles. Gavin Nutter, 5 carries, 7 yards. Jack Hess, 2 carries, a loss of 12. Will Moats, 1 carry for 5 yards. Jack Hess through the air, 1 for 2. 55 yards in his first touchdown pass of the year. Gavin Nutter 0 for 1, and Alex Davies 2 for 5 for 38 yards. All 3 completions go to Will Moats. 3 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. 3 big turnovers for St. Pat's, 7 first downs, 7 penalties for 50 yards. Meanwhile, for GICC, they go for 302 total yards, 66 on the ground, 236 through the air. Russ Martinez finishes today with 23 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Irish did a phenomenal job on him on the ground. Brayton Johnson, 17 carries, 23 yards. Steinke and Wenzel both with a carry. Martinez through the air, 14 of 25, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT today. Lowry, 4 catches, 39 yards. Wenzel, 5 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. He was really good. Threw 2 catches for Isaac Herbick, 32 yards and a touchdown. Armstrong had a catch, and 2 catches for Steinke for 38 yards. 1 turnover, 15 first downs for the Crusaders, 9 penalties for 90 yards. Those, again, your post-game numbers brought to you by Condon Signs of North Platte. Again, your final, 20-13. The win goes to Grand Island Central Catholic. They improved to 2-2 on the year. St. Pat's drops to 2-1. The Crusaders are at Gibbon next week. St. Pat's will be at Bridgeport next week. Game you'll hear right here on KODY. A 7 o'clock kickoff from Bridgeport. That will be a dandy, and certainly will be a battle, I think, for the district. At least the first big game of that district. And I think by the end of the year, you might come back and say that was the marquee game of the district. Let's go ahead and name our Swift Auto Center play of the game for this one. Didn't get a holy moly in there, but I got a holy cow, and shout out to Lyle Bremser, one of the greatest of all time for sure. 85-yard run by Jackson Roberts. He got a big block from Braxton Erickson, and then he just made some plays down. I mean, he's not making the shifty moves. He's making the tackle breaking moves. I mean, he's running through tackles downfield. He finishes with 176 yards and a touchdown for St. Pat's. Time now for your player of the game tonight. It's brought to you by Allo Communications, the telecom home team. Allo has taken tech to the next level with products and services that provide its fiber fans with an all-star experience. If you're ready to up your internet game, go to allocommunications.com and get Allo today. It's got to be Jackson Roberts, 17 carries, 176 yards, a touchdown, and the 85-yard touchdown pass or run by Jackson Roberts. That is going to be our Allo Fiber player of the game. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We want to thank everybody that tuned in on YouTube. I think there's a few of you still left. I'm not sure why, but I appreciate you. I know we got cut out on the middle of that, right late in that game. I apologize for that. We tried to do our best to get it back on the air during this COVID era. We're really wanting to stream home games, and so we'll have the other 2 home games on our North Platte Catholic Schools YouTube page. It was night 1 of trying it out. I thought it went overall pretty well until the end when it really mattered, but we were able to get it reconnected, and we appreciate you hanging out there. Of course, everybody on KODY 1240 AM 106.1 FM as well. Thanks for dialing us up. In your final, 20-13, St. Pat's falls to Grand Island Central Catholic. Don't forget, next Friday night, our next broadcast, Irish will take on Bridgeport. In Bridgeport, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff Central Time from Bridgeport High. Big thanks to Coach Kevin Dodson, Coach Brent Oftencamp, and Bill O'Malley for the help throughout the evening. I'm Tanner Struckman, your voice of the Irish, saying so long from Knights of Columbus Field. This has been Irish Football on KODY.